Welcome, everyone, to Game Scoop Thursdays, the tastiest podcast around. I am Alex O'Connor, and joining me here today is Mr. Jeremy Jones.
Yo!
Also joining us here today, back from a somewhat, 1-2 week absence, whatever it is. He has finished fighting off all the Vex in his house, but he is still suffering a slight battle wound. Here is Mr. Terence Thompson.
What's going on? Shout out to the dark side of Hyrule.
And now we are introducing Miss Jamie Dodd.
What's up, everyone?
So, just to give a quick rundown of what we're going to be talking about here, we're going to have a slight follow-up on a couple of last week's topics, which some new news has popped up about a couple things. And then we have some quick topics that we want to get through, just pretty much some smaller updates and some trailers that we are just going to pretty much give our thoughts on. After that, we're going to be talking about Screamride, Assassin's Creed Identity, Uncharted 4, The Witcher 3, Destiny, Dragon Age Inquisition, Borderlands the pre-sequel, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, Alien Isolation, and Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 3DS. But first off, right off the bat, let's talk about what we've been playing here this past week. So, Terrence, why don't you go first on this one?
All right. So, I've been playing a couple of things. The first thing I started playing was Hyrule Warriors, which completely exceeded my expectations of what I initially thought it was going to be, because I've never been too keen on the Dynasty Warriors franchise, but Nintendo, they did their thing with that one. That was an excellent game. I really did not want to put that down while I was playing it, so I highly recommend that one. And then you already know, I also got the Super Smash Bros. That came out, so we got that one, so you got to keep a lookout for that a little bit later in the show. We'll get more into that later.
All right, Jamie, how about you?
Honestly, I've still kind of been playing Destiny. I mean, I try and pick up other things, and then I just go right back to Destiny.
And
I literally installed Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, and I still haven't played it. I went back to Destiny.
Understandable. Jeremy, how about you?
Back to you.
A little bit of Destiny. A lot of bit of Destiny. And Daisy, actually, has been another one that I've been playing a lot of. Just recently, new update had me kind of interested in it. But anyway, that's about it. That didn't work. Playing Life.
The game of life. Everybody's favorite game.
Yeah, no. I heard it got terrible reviews.
The graphics weren't as good. The storyline sucked.
The graphics were fine. It's just like
Team Nintendo.
I don't know. The AI was terrible. The whole reward system was awful.
The storyline is not good.
It doesn't help that there's no respawns.
Yeah, the respawn timer sucks. I guess this was that permadeath that we were talking about way back in episode 2.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that whole
I think developers need to release a hot fix for it.
It's like it's real. It's almost like it's real life. You don't come back.
Yeah, no one likes real life. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's why it sucks.
Oh, okay. Well, lately I've been playing a little bit of Smash Brothers for the 3DS, which I ended up liking it after I downloaded that update and got Classic Mode. And then I was pleasantly surprised by Shadow of Mordor. I ended up buying it, and I've played a little bit of it, but I expect this week I'm going to really get into it and start playing it a lot more. So just, Jamie, how about you talk about some headphones that we got?
Oh, yeah, okay. So Turtle Beach just released their new headsets. They have the Turtle Beach Stealth 400s for the PS4, which me and Alex both picked those up, and I have to say they're amazing. What do you think of yours so far, Alex?
I am liking mine. I used them for game audio, at least when I was playing Destiny the other day. I haven't used them for chat yet. I'm going to be doing that later tonight. I liked them. I liked the feel of them. They were good with glasses.
And they're super light.
And I find it hilarious that they talk.
What do you mean?
Like when you turn it on, there's that thing that says like turning
yeah.
on and charging and stuff. That was.
And whenever you change the digital preset on it to like bass boost and stuff, the lady in your ears goes bass boost.
That sounds hilarious.
That's borderline schizophrenia. That's borderline schizophrenia. It's like you the only one that can hear.
No. See, I've always had Turtle Beaches, and that's why I said that we should probably end up getting those again, since that's normally been always the best headset. But they definitely stepped up their game with this one, because I remember the XP 400s, I think it was, the Bluetooth ones. It was like the very first Bluetooth headset they came out with. Whenever you changed the presets on it, it would just do this loud, like, ear-bleeding beep. It was like the most terrible thing to ever hear, and you had to hear it. Oh my god, what are y'all dying about?
Okay. Yeah, just wait a minute. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I've missed something.
I hate Alex.
God, I have to laugh just because Alex laughs.
I'm crying right now.
What nonsense is going on?
Oh my god.
Mid-podcast, really.
I want to stop so bad, but I can't.
Okay, everyone, calm down.
All right. Okay.
We're in the middle of something.
We got a new section. We'll be right back.
All right.
We can edit all this out. Don't worry.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah, no, we have post-production.
oh my
Oh god, that was so funny. I needed that laugh.
oh jeez. Yeah. So
Which part of what I said made you laugh so hard?
No. It wasn't you. It wasn't you. All right. I wish y'all could see life through my eyes just for a minute, just so y'all can just so you can see what I see and feel what I feel right now, because this is genuine hilarity, because it makes no sense. I can't explain this. Like, I can't put words to this. I really can't. Like, only Alex will be able to do that. Alex, save me.
all right, getting back on track now.
Yes.
Yeah, so the headphones are good. And there's also some what are the Xbox One ones called? They're like the
The ones that are coming out are the XO ones.
XO One, right?
But as far as a nice Turtle Beach headset for Xbox One, probably the best bet would be the XO4s. They're $100, just like the Stealth 400s, and leather ear cups, everything, pretty much the exact same headset, just the Xbox version.
Now, I have to have a shout out here. I've always been a Triton kind of guy, and Turtle Beach has good headsets. I like it, but I think I will fight for the title of best headset. Although I don't really know how Triton's been performing recently, but back in the heyday with the AX Pros and whatnot, they were awesome. They were.
Oh yeah, definitely, that was a great headset. But recently, like the
The
kunais and everything.
AX720s and stuff, they're like, eh. Oh yeah, and the kunais and like the cheap pieces of like crap that they have.
Yeah, they haven't been that great lately. I mean,
Well,
I don't want to hate on Triton.
the primer, the detonator, and the warhead all look really good. The warhead I've been looking to get eventually, but it's so expensive. Wireless hot swap charging on there. It looks like a really well done headset. It's just I don't know how their quality has been as of lately, and their customer support, at least in my experience, has always been unparalleled. My pair of AX Pros, the mic died, which a lot of people had that exact same problem, and I told them that. It's like, yeah, no, my mic died, and I wanted to call my warranty. They're like, yeah, no, just send it in. I mean, no, they didn't even ask me to send it in. They said, okay, that sucks. We're sending you a new headset. Just keep your old one.
You know, I will say I bought. I guess this would have been 2012 when Halo 4 was coming out.
Yeah.
I bought the Halo 4 Trident headset, which was good until like 2 weeks after Halo 4 was actually released. After it was released, they started just randomly having a horrible buzzing sound come over like everybody else's microphone.
That's a mic issue, and Triton's had mic issues in the past. But like I said, that's why like they replaced mine so easily, because it was a mic issue.
Right. When I contacted their customer support, I mean, they were like, okay, yeah, just as long as you can show proof of purchase, we can get you a new one. And unfortunately, it was like the one time I somehow managed to lose a receipt. Like, that's never happened until the one time I actually need a receipt for something. So, unfortunately, I never got them replaced. But
I will say, I have never seen a Triton headset that has been even remotely glasses friendly, though.
No.
That was the most uncomfortable nightmare when you're wearing a pair of glasses.
That was one reason I decided not to get a new pair of them, because
I understand that much.
Yeah, they were very headache inducing.
Oh my god, worse. I will say, I love the audio quality of them. I love the build quality, especially. If you wear glasses, I'm sorry. I wear glasses, but I have contacts that I will switch to when I put these things on a lot of the time. They're that bad.
It's time to use these headsets. Let me put these contacts in real quick.
Right? It's like something.
Whew. Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, these I am pleasantly surprised with the Stealth 400. That's what it was. Man, I can't remember the names of these things. So as for gaming headset, this has been the best experience I've had with one.
For which console, though? You gotta tell them which console.
Oh, right. This is for the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
The PlayStation 4 Stealth 400s. Moving right along then, we just have some... the follow-up to last week's topics. We talked a little bit about PlayStation Home getting shut down, and none of us exactly knew what that was. But it sounded like it may have been due to poor sales, but according to one guy there, PlayStation Home was a commercial success and was not a failure, with studios raking in seven-figure revenue. So, not really sure. I mean, if that's
probably just them, restructuring how they're doing things more than anything else. I mean, you find a lot of places doing that. It's like, okay, they'll kill something that was pretty good, but they're planning something better in the long run, or something that they think is going to end up being better.
Yeah, I mean, it's still just from what I've read on it. From looking this up, I still have no idea what it even was.
Yeah, now that's the thing, though. Okay, it might have been a success, but when you're talking about a huge company like Sony, it's hard for something software related to not really be a numbers success. It might have made profit and whatnot, but we're talking four of us here who are all pretty heavy into gaming, and we all have no freaking clue what it was.
Yeah,
that shows how much of a actual an industry success it may have been.
All right, well, then getting into some shorter topic discussions here. Kevin Smith announced that he's going to be in Lego Batman 3, and he's going to be playing Kevin Smith.
Yes.
They showed him in pure Lego form, and I have to say, Lego Kevin Smith looks like real-life Kevin Smith. And I believe he was holding...
replica.
Yeah, pretty much. And I believe he was holding a ray gun. So Kevin Smith now has ray guns.
I wonder what unlock requirements are going to be.
For Kevin Smith?
Yeah. Is he going to be unlocked from the start, or is it DLC?
Beat the game on
I'm
Ultra Insanity mode.
I'm wearing a Lego Batman 3 shirt right now. It's amazing.
Coincidence.
It's the one Kevin gave me. It's the most softest, amazing shirt I've ever worn.
It's made out of 100%
angel babies.
You know, this is the second time tonight that someone has said their shirt is the softest and best shirt ever.
It's a good night for...
Who said that the first time?
It's a custom shirt.
Hodge Goblin Von Strudel.
Who's Hot
One
Goblin?
of our coworkers over at.
It's my granddad.
Yeah.
No, obviously, yes. You two look
My
actually very
granddad.
similar.
I could see them being related.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Right, and also right now available for download in Pokemon X and Pokemon Y through now I forget the name of that. Whatever their download method is, you can get a supersized Pumpkaboo special for Halloween.
That's what I was going to tell you, Alex. You can also get a shiny Gengar at GameStop starting on October 13th.
Oh, no way.
I need this stuff.
No, but me and my Gengar, we've been through too much.
Yeah, I've been through a lot, man. I saw y'all out there last week, man. Y'all was doing work. You and your Gengar went through a lot. That was
And
crazy.
the shiny Pumpkaboo, it comes with the thing that you need to evolve it. You just have to trade it with a friend, and it'll evolve.
Hold on. What's the Pokemon's name again?
Pumpkaboo.
Sound like an 80s retired pimp.
Pro tip, it's a ghost pumpkin.
It really is a ghost pumpkin. Perfect for Halloween, which is why they're doing this right now, probably.
True.
Once again, somebody gonna get them and not use them.
Dude, do you realize how many, like, Pokemon, like, PC boxes are full of just useless Pokemon that happen to be, like, shiny? There are, like, thousands now.
They're all Pumpkaboos.
All of them. Just thousands and thousands of sad, stored Pumpkaboos.
That got to be like the most scariest place to actually be in a virtual world. Like you just walk in and you just see a whole bunch of just Pumpkaboos looking at you crying and be like, they just left us here, man.
They just left me. Why did he leave me?
He did all that work to download me and left me, man. I don't know what happened.
Yep, that's exactly what happens.
That's a true story too.
I do that with all my Pokemon. Now I kind of feel bad. You made me feel bad, Terence.
Hey,
Terrence, why are you making Jimmy feel bad?
I'm gonna do a movie based off a true story. I'm gonna get Denzel Washington to play my role. It's gonna be crazy.
That will make you look too good.
I gotta do something.
Shots have been fired.
Shots may have been fired. I was wearing a bulletproof vest though, so now what you got?
Okay.
Oh man.
Mm.
And then I guess Groudon and Kyogre will have Mega Evolutions in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Those have been actually shown. It was I think it was a magazine release, something like that, in Japan that actually originally showed something that could possibly have been a Mega Evolution for them, but I think it hasn't been confirmed that they're going to have a Mega Evolution and a Primeval Evolution, or is the Primeval Evolution their Mega Evolution?
What was the Prime one?
It was supposed to be Kyogre and Groudon back in the days when they were actually like forming continents and oceans, were vastly more powerful. Then Rayquaza kicked them in the face, and then they got kind of sad. But they used to be infinitely more powerful than they were. And the Mega Evolution is or I forget, they originally called it in the recent a Primeval Evolution, but they may have meant Mega Evolution. Where
and
they
that's just
are,
in
where
Japan,
they go back,
it might be referred to as
right,
Mega.
where they went back to the forms where they originally were, way back in the beginning of the creation of the continents and the oceans, where they were vastly more powerful, and they get huge and crazy looking. So it might be the Mega Evolution.
Don't judge me.
Okay, I guess whoever dog that was does not like Pokemon.
No, he doesn't like Pokemon lore. I'm sure he likes Pokemon.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, you don't like
My dogs are literally allergic to Pokemon.
Apparently, especially Rayquaza.
Man, you don't even want to know what happened when they got notified. It was crazy.
Dude, Rayquaza is kind of a baller. Just saying.
I will say the Mega Evolution is interesting looking. I mean, I guess it looks all right, but I don't know.
It's not about the looks; it's about the fact that they will crush anything.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving right on to the PlayStation Plus October content. I think what they're doing for PlayStation 4 is pretty cool, which is, and all this content starts on October 8th, which means that is also when September's offers will end. So on the PlayStation 4, if you do not want to purchase the full version of Drive Club, then they will provide you with a, I guess, less full version of Drive Club, which will include.
Okay.
It's funny. I knew you were going to say that.
If you don't want to get the full one, you can get
You get the less
less
full version.
full one. You sound like you'd be PR for Microsoft right now. Good job.
Insta hurt.
You get 11
Alright,
tracks and 10
so-
cars. You also get Dust and Elysian
As long as I got my Beamer in there, I don't care.
Yeah.
Guys, imagine Forza Essentials Edition, and that's what the PlayStation
Yeah, that's pretty much
Plus
what this
version
is.
of Drive Club is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why would I want to ever play a racing game without access to like 5,000 cars?
Man, I don't care what nobody say, man. Mario Kart is enough for me.
And also, if
Mario
you
Kart
buy
rules.
it from PlayStation Plus, if you buy it on the PlayStation system, you get it for $10 less than you do in the store.
So you get $10 off?
Yeah, Terrence, you get a whole $10.
Do you know how many?
I can do a lot with $10. What are you talking about?
Do you know how much gas that is?
Like
Oh, I know.
$10
I normally
gas.
put like $5 in, and it'll get me.
That'll give me like a whole like Cara Frappa Macchiato latte thing.
Man,
at
that's like
Starbucks.
2 smoothies.
Yeah, no, well, one and a
That is
half. Two small
two
smoothies.
pizzas.
Two
That is
smoothies
two
that hopefully
pieces
aren't made
of
like they
bacon.
were that one day.
That is two. That is 2 pizzas.
That's 2 pizzas from Little Caesars and a smile.
Yeah, you get the smile for free.
I could feed a family with that.
They've got Dust and
Yeah.
Elysian Tale.
I want
Which-
pizza now.
I actually have this on the Xbox 360,
And I have Russell has it for PC, I think, right now.
nice. It's actually my favorite arcade title that I've ever downloaded. I haven't beat it quite yet. I'm like the last boss fight, and that guy's got some power, so I haven't quite figured out a winning strategy for that yet. Closing out on the PlayStation 4, you get Spelunky.
I've heard about Spelunky. That was a long time ago, though.
It was, but now it's on the PS4 along with Dust, so
Shit.
they're doing that. PlayStation 3, you're going to be getting Batman Arkham Asylum and Dungeons & Dragons Chronicles of Mystara. The Vita, I guess you'll get the choice between Pix the Cat or Rainbow Moon. I have absolutely no idea what either of those is.
Yeah, Rainbow Moon, I know it was like a RPG. I think it was like a turn-based RPG.
That was it.
Yeah, but that's all I know. That's all I got. I was trying to be like inquisitive, but that's all I got on that.
Unfortunately, in a couple areas like South Africa, Ukraine, Russia, Turkey, and India, PS Plus subscriptions were raised. I know one area it was raised by 51%, and the other was raised by 53%.
Good God.
IGN did report that North America is safe, so we will not be seeing increased PlayStation Plus prices.
America!
Thank
America.
God.
Well, North America. So Canada and Mexico as well.
America!
And
Perfect.
if you do get Drive Club, it will also support the racing wheels. So if you use those, and actually, if you are able to spend the like $300 to $400 that those things
Dude, the pedals,
cost,
the pedals too.
you'll be able to use it.
So cool.
And now Skullgirls was a kind of fighting mashup game that was released on last-gen consoles.
So good.
Good. And Skullgirls Encore, it has been delayed for the PS4 and the PS Vita. The studio wants to expand the port.
You can hear the pain in like Terence's voice right now.
I love Skullgirl.
And now, Battlefield Hardline. Visceral says that their game will work.
High bar they're setting, by the way.
Do what?
High bar they're setting will work.
Oh yeah, well they said it
That's
will
a
work
high bar.
since Battlefield 4 had a ton of issues when it was released.
Oh,
That's why they pushed it back to March.
they said it's going to work on release?
Yeah, they said it will work.
Are you kidding me? What?
Well, they said there was one successful beta, and they have a second one coming to all platforms.
God, Battlefield that works on release is like the holy grail of gaming.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's.
I mean, that always works eventually, but like you never expect it to work right away. I'm I'm not going to touch this for a month until they fix it.
That's like saying a game you have to like actually unlock the DLC and not pay for it almost. So like you have to work for the DLC. You don't have to pay.
Battlefield, you have to like wait for the game to unlock itself. What are you talking?
Yeah, it's time.
Can I play it? Are the servers up? Oh, cool.
Play for 40 hours. We're gonna give you 3 maps. How about that?
So that's good news. I mean, they're shooting for the same bar every other studio has shot for every game. But I mean, good on them. Good on them for actually, realizing and releasing and recognizing that their games in the past have not worked, and doing something to kind of, rectify that. That is something that that's a good thing on their end. So, kudos to them.
And now the Pokemon trading card game is now on the iPad.
Oh, right.
I think that's like a virtual version of it.
Yes, it
I
is.
don't know if you can actually now cards that you have. Is there some way to, let's say, if you buy a pack at the store, are you able to put that in the game?
I don't know. They did that for other games like Yu-Gi-Oh, but what ended up happening is people just like found the codes online or in your cheat code magazine monthly thing, and they would just get every card. So I don't know if they're doing that for the most recent one. They very well may, because it has been a popular thing to do in-card game video games for a while. But that is something I'd have to take a look at to confirm one way or another.
And then the Forza Hub app launched on the Xbox One. Not sure if it launched on the 360. That'll be not sure on that one, but this will allow players to earn in-game credits and cars for their Forza careers, and I guess it will look back at your past Forza games to see which ones you played and stuff like that.
Yes.
To maybe get content. And this is
Horizons?
Yeah, well, I think it launched because Forza Horizon 2 just launched. And I guess it's going to be somewhat similar to Halo Waypoint, where Waypoint you could unlock content for Halo 4.
Like one or two different things.
Yeah, there was some armor, and one part that I didn't like is that you had to go to Waypoint to watch the terminals, but whatever.
Yeah, they moved the terminals onto that, and that was like,
Yeah, they should have just left those in game.
Yeah, I like them in game better. It's something about, especially in Halo 3, like watching the terminals like corrupt themselves as you were reading it, and like trying to read it like as it's falling apart was just kind of fun.
And then the Last Tinker was canceled on the Xbox One due to poor PS4 sales and a lack of Xbox One owners, which I don't really think there's a lack of Xbox One owners, but hey.
How can they just say we're not going to release it for this console because there aren't enough people on this console? There's a huge amount. It's like half or something.
Yeah, that's what they said. When I read that, I was like, I don't know what you guys are looking at.
I think they just knew that their game sucked and they just wanted to blame it on something else.
Let's only fail on one console, guys. Ooh.
But
Sorry
but
for
we
anyone.
ain't
Sorry
gonna
for anyone who was looking forward to that game. Sorry.
And then I know our friend Jordan will be displeased about this, but the Revan expansion announcement was delayed for Star Wars: The Old Republic. Although it's a good thing because BioWare wanted to figure out like special things that they could give their subscribers. Because of course, The Old Republic is free to play, but still there are people like Jordan who pay who have the monthly subscriptions or whatever they choose. To get better in-game stuff and everything. So I think that's cool that BioWare still, with their expansion packs, are looking to give those subscribers a little something extra when they download the expansion.
Yeah, I guess that's good.
And then we had a couple trailers a few trailers that came out here. First one that we saw was The Adventures of Pip, which was about a cube that could transform into a boy and vice versa. It looked like an interesting little platformer / puzzle game.
There's a lot of those coming out.
I mean, what are your thoughts on it? Anybody?
I'm going to let someone else take the floor here because I don't have any input on this.
Me neither, really.
Interesting. All right.
As you can tell, it's captivated us entirely.
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you right now, all I know is like my non-excitedness is excited. It's crazy.
I mean, I saw it. It's not something I would play, to be honest. Like, if I ever downloaded it, it would probably be because it was like a game of the month or something. And
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna go through and like eventually with all of these. With all these platformers and whatnot, go through and just like pay $5 or so for them when they go on sale. And just like get like all of them and go through all of them like dust and like the Limbo and things like that. Like I do want to like go through and like play all of those.
Well, Dust is a great game. I really love it.
Yeah, because like I could tell you like there's like one game that I actually like took a chance on, and it's probably like right now has resonated to be like one of my top 5 favorite games of all time. And I just took a chance and I just downloaded it with Shovel Knight, and that game like to this day like that's like one of my top 5 favorite games of all time. Period.
Right, and I think there's something to be said about like the little indie developers and people who are making these little games. Then they don't have the budget of like the AAA studios and whatnot, but I mean they have a charm to them and they have a really unique kind of, especially their art direction and like inspiration for the game and whatnot. Like it's really something that you can connect to on a like I feel this way too kind of level. It's like they're people, they're gamers like us who are making games, and there's something really different about playing an indie game. It
actually feel like it has heart and soul put into it.
Right, I know.
Just being pushed out here just for money, like every year, like Call of Duty franchise, like games like that is bad.
Yeah, when's the last time you've tried to say a Call of Duty game has soul? What?
Huh.
Call of Duty steals people's souls.
I did kind of like Black Ops Story though, just to be honest.
It also steals their money.
My favorite Call of Duty was Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare 2 for the gameplay until freaking Infinity Ward decided, hey, we're gonna stop patching everything.
Oh my god!
There was a certain. Does anyone else remember that certain point where like, okay, we fixed the Javelin glitch, we like toned down the 1887s, and now you guys are on your own. Have fun.
Yeah, they just left everybody like to hell. Like I'll never forget.
Yeah, they're hackers. Yeah, no, we're not gonna. No.
Oh my god! When the first day, I went into a. Oh,
it was bad.
The day that you go into a lobby and then you get all of your weapons unlocked and you start off under the map. That's when you like
the times when you could have like your javelin that has no like reload timer and you just keep firing hundreds of them. Oh god, the chaos.
Oh, let's see.
So much destruction.
Ow. Jeremy, you and I went under the map in Destiny recently when we found that secret door.
Oh, that was fun. So we were on the last level of Destiny. We were on. It was the Blackguard. We were on a strike for the Queen's Wrath, and there was this door. Well, it was off the beaten path for the Black Garden. Like,
Yeah,
you
the
didn't
Black
have to
Garden.
go down there.
Which, I just want to throw this out there. Whoever my friend was who joined, he was like in the process of joining as we were going through the portal for the Black Garden and got stuck on Mars while we were in the Black Garden.
Oh,
Somehow he got left on Mars, and that was super sad for him.
Yeah. He
Sorry.
left after that. Anyway, continue.
So there was this door, and it had the big like energy force field thing. You know, normally you look at it and go, it's a force field, I'm not supposed to go there. Well, I was just like looking around and be like, I wonder if I can get past this. So, step one, I tried to blink into it. It didn't take too kindly to that. It actually flung me several thousand feet in the opposite direction.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, man.
I have to say this.
I went flying into the distance and just exploded. The second time I tried, it smashed me against a rock at Mach 4. The third time, I decided to try to use Blade Dancer to get through it. Pro tip, that actually worked. I got through the force field. The first time I got through, it got spat back out and smushed against a wall again. The second time, I decided to stay away from the force field after I got through it. So I got through it, and then there's this giant cavern. This huge, like, incredibly, like, detailed cavern area that I got stuck in, by the way. I apparently hit a checkpoint or something in there and could not get out, and, like, respawned falling to my death repeatedly.
Super stuff.
Yeah, you know, I remember I was just kind of watching your cursor, like your gamer tag, kind of just walking around, because I was trying to find out what those like glowing bugs were, because they kept popping up and disappearing. But I just remember you're just walking along, then all of a sudden I just see you kind of stop and just go down.
Yeah, because it's like a freaking 200-foot drop, and I just kept dying.
That's so bad.
Oh yeah, no, it was hilarious just watching you
The glitches
go
in
down.
the games.
So I haven't gotten through. I haven't done the raid yet, but my impression is that it seems like it's part of the Vault of Glass. It seems like a very technical area and one that would be a good gameplay space. So I feel like they're either using that for a future DLC, which doesn't seem all that likely considering the next two DLCs are focused on the Fallen and Hive respectively, or it's for the Vault of Glass, and I feel like the Vault of Glass is a very viable option for that.
Right.
So there's that in breaking maps weekly.
Unless it's just going to be some other story mission that will take place in the Black Garden.
Or something.
Anyway, moving on now. There was a new Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare trailer for their DLC, The Legends of the Lawn. They were showing off their new classes for the zombies and the plants. I thought it looked entertaining. I originally got Garden Warfare for the Xbox One when it came out, but I lost interest in it pretty quickly.
Plants vs. Zombies is a very, very easy game to lose 100% of your interest in, like, instantaneously. Now, to be fair, the first one was charming, and it was weird and new, and I actually had a lot of fun playing it. Then after I played it for, like, a week or something, it became absolutely uninteresting. That's just the case with, games like that are basically phone time waster games that somehow like get on a console and stuff.
Well, it was good. It was made by DICE, so it was good. It was entertaining at first, but then just after a while, I don't know. It just stopped.
I think it was one of those games. It was just like a novelty. Like it was just like somebody was like, "What is two things that we could put together that makes absolutely no sense?" Right. And then everybody was in the office. Somebody was playing the game, and somebody heard the sounds. It was like, "Is that Plants vs. Zombies?" And then they looked at the DICE president. It was like, do it now. It was put those together now to make a game, and then it was just like, okay, after 10 minutes, okay, I'm done with this. It was
It's like,
fun.
this is actually super uninteresting. That's disappointing.
Yeah, like it was a good idea at first, and it looks nice. The game looks beautiful, but it's just one of those
does.
things that just, yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, it happens. There are misses, and they happen all the time.
That is true.
You can't always fault someone for like making a game that misses. I mean, yeah, a lot of people would like try to make games, and maybe it's not the best idea. Maybe the gameplay isn't the best, or maybe it's utterly unappealing on all levels. But you know,
maybe they take the story away.
Yeah, but they're trying. They're trying, and they're trying in different ways, and they don't always resonate with everybody. So you know, it's part of the risk of saying, okay, we're going to make this game. Part of the risk is, well, what if everybody doesn't like feel the same way about it as we do? You know,
Exactly.
So I mean, still
take those
kudos.
punches and roll.
Yeah, kudos to every game developer out there for that. Even if you make a shitty game,
Yeah.
Kudos for actually being out there and trying at least. Without people who like made shitty games, you wouldn't have stuff like Duke Nukem Forever to laugh at. Or other gems.
Matt Hazard.
Or other hilarious attempts at making something work. So, anyway.
There was also a trailer for something called Viking Squad, which I'm not entirely sure why, but when I was watching this trailer, it made me think about Borderlands. It just the graphics, at least the way it looked, like it. I mean, it plays. Just judging by of course, it plays totally different than Borderlands, but just the art style. That's what I'm looking for.
Now,
the art style was very Borderlands reminiscent.
The art style of Borderlands, the very first Borderlands when it first came out, was so weird and like unprecedented at the time that it was refreshing. Cel-shaded graphics in what was supposed to be something like a AAA title like that. At the time, where everyone was so focused on like, let's get like awesome shaders and awesome like shit in our in our games. Borderlands like, yeah, no, we're gonna do cel shading, and people are like, you're gonna do what? This isn't Budokai. What are you doing? But and it worked so well for them. Like it was cel shading, yeah, but it was good cel shading. Borderlands, when you crank up the graphic settings on that, is a gorgeous game.
Borderlands is my favorite series.
And it runs on like any computer ever at like full graphics because the cel shading doesn't take up a whole lot of resources, and it's just brilliantly done. Plus, it makes for some pretty awesome cosplays.
I think a friend of mine, Sean, brought it up that one of the reasons why Borderlands was put to that particular art style is because if they made it look, like regular graphics, it would be a horror game. Just because of what some of the creatures look like.
Well, yeah, some of the characters and stuff, like, it's utterly grotesque, and if you don't, like, lighten the mood up and make it just seem, like, crazy or whatnot, then, things are going to get way too serious, and that's what Borderlands avoids doing. It's like, yeah, no, we know this is about, like, craziness and things that, like, are way off the wall, and, like, the art style of that really did help.
There was also something that was released, which is going to be an RPG for the Nintendo 3DS. The Legend of Legacy had its debut trailer, and this looks interesting. Like something that I would play. I just don't know if I'm going to pick it up. Did anybody else check out the trailer?
I was at work all day.
Right.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Excuses, Mr. Let's look at the show notes 5 minutes before we start recording.
Shut up.
I listened to the. I'm going to be real. I listened to the music and I didn't watch the trailer.
Good enough.
And
What did you think of the music?
Hey.
Background. I'm absorbing the information. That's fine. That's close enough.
I
Man, it was
sat
good
there
enough for me.
and looked at the show notes in between customers today, but I didn't get a chance to watch any videos.
I can tell you this right now, though. If the gameplay reflects anything from that music, I'm buying it day one.
Is that good?
I want that soundtrack tonight. This is
All
not a
right.
game. It's life.
It's the game of life.
Oh.
It's from
Yeah.
my legacy.
Let's see. Last trailer that we have to briefly touch on. It was. I'm probably going to butcher this severely.
Probably.
Senran Kagura Shinobi versus Crimson
Wrong.
Squad. What?
I'm just kidding. I don't know if it's wrong.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Anyway, this was one of the weirdest trailers I've ever seen, and I don't entirely know what was going on. So,
That's it.
I mean, it was weird. Anyway, that's it for the quick topics. Let's move right on, as we've already spent 45 minutes on what is known as quick topics.
Very quick.
Sometimes we're at 45 minutes and we're pretty much done with our main title spree. Anyway, back during Gamescom, the Xbox media briefing at Gamescom, they announced a game called Screamride, which is kind of like a roller coaster tycoon where you can build a bunch of roller coasters and then just destroy everything.
Well, the goal for that game is to kill as many people as you can in the funniest ways.
I can
Sound like the
respect that.
Illuminati.
Me and Kevin actually looked up a bunch of stuff on it whenever he saw it, and the whole gist of the game is to make these crazy, insane roller coasters that the people won't survive. So, one of them had, a slingshot ride where the dude just shot off into the sky, hit a bunch of stuff, fell to the ground screaming, and died. And then one of them had where, the poles it would have the little cart for the roller coaster. They knew it would go straight into some poles, and so the poles would, pierce through the people.
Oh.
It's the goal of the game, the actual goal is to kill people.
Sounds like Carmageddon mixed with Mortal Kombat mixed with Roller Coaster Tycoon mixed
So,
with
yeah, how old Roller Coaster Tycoon, where the best way to cheat and win is to make sure that your roller coaster, shoots off into the park next to you, so that the park next to you gets all the deaths and you just get all the fun, good things. But the actual goal of this game is to kill people, so kill as many as you can and you win.
They're going to hell.
That's a little.
They going. That's too much.
That's why it's called Screamride, because you want to make the people scream as much as you can.
I have a feeling this game is probably going to be rated E or teen, right?
Yeah.
Probably, because
there's no
some
blood.
of the deaths we saw.
There's no blood?
No blood. Just
no, there's no blood. It's just some of the deaths are really crazy and funny.
Yeah.
So I could see if they made it rated teen at least.
Like Final Destination 3, the game. I don't like that.
Right, exactly. Can you set up panes of glass and log trucks in front of people and stuff?
That wasn't in the video. It just showed a couple roller coasters that people made. But
one more time.
That game, it looks pretty crazy.
I don't want nothing to do with it. You live in Jacksonville. There's too much death already. I'm cool.
And honestly, I want that white Xbox One, and I want to get Screamride.
Yes. That white Xbox One looks absolutely
beautiful.
Speaking of death, I just had to bring what I thought about it.
Speaking of death, this is going to end well.
Has anybody seen the live action trailer for, oh my God, what's the name of that game? It's the Xbox One exclusive.
The one we talked about last week. Wait, were you on here last week?
Sunset Overdrive?
No, he wasn't here last week.
Yeah, Sunset Overdrive. Yeah, no. Yeah, we talked about that.
Oh my God. I just saw that live action trailer yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know how to, I want to play it so bad, but I feel bad for wanting to play it after I saw that. That trailer was so crazy.
Well, like they said, it was the worst decision that they made doing that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ubisoft announced Assassin's Creed Identity, which is going to be an Assassin's Creed game for iOS, due for a full release in 2015. It appeared to be set in Italy, and players will be able to choose between 4 assassins: the Berserker, which is just going as the big guy, the Shadow Blade, which can use throwing knives and smoke bombs, the Trickster, which utilizes disguises and confusion, and then the Thief, which can blind and pickpocket. This sounds like it might be... I know that last week we were talking a little bit about mobile games and how they're trying to make the phones a full-blown platform. And if Assassin's Creed Identity can do it right, do you think that this is a possibility?
It depends on the gameplay mechanics of it. Now, I know they're kind of having to dumb things down because, phone and whatnot. That's to be expected. Yeah. But, and I am a fan of tie-in games like that to a main series. Little spin-offs and things like that that elaborate a little bit more on the story and the universe of the main series. Kind of like how Spartan Assault was, for example. I wouldn't really consider it, and this is just my feelings on the matter, I wouldn't consider it a big standalone game by itself. I wouldn't say, oh yeah, I love Halo because of Spartan Assault.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what? But it's a great tie-in for people who already like the game. And that's kind of how I feel about Assassin's Creed in going for iOS. Would be, hey, we know a lot of people enjoy this universe. Let's give them a bigger taste of it. Let's give them a little bit more in a different form factor, something that they can, take while they're, in a waiting room or something like that even, and they can just, mess around with. It doesn't have to be anything super serious, but, it is going to be a thing that they're going to, allow you to explore. And, they're going to take the production of it seriously, because it will reflect on their overall franchise, that is Assassin's Creed. So I like the idea of tie-ins like that. I still don't know that phones will ever quite capture the same kind of immersion that really gets you hooked on a game like PC and consoles do. Just because, it's on your phone, you're going to get a text in the middle of it. So,
right, or a phone call.
Exactly.
For people who still actually use phones. All people.
All right. So, I think it's something that I might check out when it comes out.
All right, you still have an iPhone.
Yes, I do.
I do not have an iPhone.
So I think it'll be something that I will eventually check out. Maybe we can get Hodge Goblin to play it. Probably not, but
Hodge won't pay for anything.
No, he didn't
Say
even
something about
pay
my
for
render.
dinner. Anyway, Uncharted 4. They released the first concept art. It kind of showed a kind of temple ruins. Maybe not temple ruins. It was more like a older city in the water, and then had an underwater area of it also. I think that was my dog that just made that noise. That was weird. It's an
deep.
underwater area that they were showing off. Uncharted, it's a game series that I like, and I'm just going to throw this out there, so sorry to whoever hasn't played either of these games. So this is going to be a little spoilery, but when it comes to games like Uncharted or Tomb Raider, which could be considered as realistic...
Everyone dies.
No, but...
In slow motion.
This isn't Game of Thrones.
Red Wedding.
It was just, it was just...
that was gross.
These games are believable. And I didn't like it when... Oh, and Assassin's Creed 2. I didn't like it when the sci-fi, the science fiction elements were introduced to them. So, they were believable. Uncharted is a good series. I played through the first one. I watched my friend play through the majority of the third one. I didn't play any of the second one, which I've heard from a bunch of people that was the best one.
Yeah, the second one is the best one. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They really need to release an Uncharted collection for the PS4.
I'm pretty sure that's going to come out before Uncharted 4 comes out.
It better.
I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. If they're going to do Last of Us, they're going to do Uncharted.
I mean, I really like Uncharted 3 because, you take a game like that, you take a game like Uncharted, there is no better way to start a game like that than a bar fight. So, I'll just throw that out there.
True.
Have any of you played the Uncharted games?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I've played them.
That's why I said
good.
the second one is the best one. Ooh. Yeah, no, I played the second one. I never played the first one all the way through. I played the second one all the way through, and the third one I got part way through, but I knew what was going on enough to conclude it by myself, and I just used Wikipedia to fill in the spots. But yeah, but basically, like to this day though, like Uncharted 2, like as a whole package is still like the best one to me. So that one still reigns true. So if 4 is like anything like that, if they can push the boundaries beyond what 2 was, I'll cry tears of joy like for like a week straight, and y'all will not hear from me when that game comes out. Like no one will hear from me.
Well, don't leave us, Terence. We'll need you to cry tears of joy on the podcast for how good it is.
I'll just record my tears falling.
Yeah, just record them, and we'll just.
I'll record. I'll just record the sound of the tears falling. And
if you do, we'll just use it on our like soundboard, and we'll just like. Every time, we'll just have
that'll be the intro music.
Yeah, and it'll be 2 sniffles and a teardrop. That's all it's gonna be.
Just super dramatic teardrop. You have to
that's exclusive.
You have to cry into a deep well, so it makes that really dramatic bloop sound.
It's gonna be in slow motion too.
Exactly.
Magnified by 30%. It's gonna be in there. It's gonna be crazy.
We have big plans for our sound effects department.
Timberland going to be producing it too. It's going to be crazy.
We need a director and whatnot for this. We need the orchestra ready.
Yeah, but we got to make it bad on purpose. I'm going to get the dude that directed the Mortal Kombat Annihilation movie.
Why? Why would you do that? Hey, had it have been better than the Dragon Ball Z live action.
Oh my God, I ain't even want that brought up. You just ruined my. I'm about to leave.
I will throw this out there. Last night I watched the Need for Speed movie, and I don't care what anybody says, that movie was awesome.
I heard it actually was one of the best video game movie adaptations, though.
I will say it was. Yes.
I don't care what nobody says, though. The original Mortal Kombat movie, for me, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't care what nobody says. I learned how to throw somebody across the room without hurting myself from that movie. So at the end of the day, that movie classic to me. But I heard Need for Speed was actually legitimately kind of dope, and I want to see it.
It was. I have to say, the main supporting cast, they were hilarious. The banter that was thrown around among the 3 of them.
Yeah,
oh my gosh!
Kid Cudi's in that movie.
Who?
The rapper singer. Yeah, Kid Cudi. Yeah, he's in that movie too. The black guy.
Oh yeah. If he's the one that I'm thinking of, then he was hilarious.
The black guy.
Yeah, he's the black guy. From what I've seen, he's the only black guy in the movie. So that's the most narrowing it down.
No.
As a black man, that's what I can do to narrow it down for you. That's my civic duty.
How would you describe him? Well, he was 5'2", weighed 150 pounds, and he wore was he the black guy? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad we got that out of the way.
That's it. We got him. That's it. We're good.
Scott Mescudi?
Yeah, Scott Mescudi.
Okay. All right, then yeah. He was hilarious.
That's the dude.
That guy. He's got one line that he said within the first 20 or so minutes of the movie that stuck with me throughout the entire movie, and I kept laughing every time I heard it. It was that funny.
As soon as we get off of here, I'm going to watch that movie in ways that I'm not going to say here because it's on the internet to protect my life. I'm going to watch that movie. I'm going to.
Let's see, the Witcher series.
I've heard really good things about.
Witcher.
I will say, I haven't beaten the second one yet.
Have you seen the trailer for that? Wait.
Oh yeah.
The second one.
This is going to be The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt.
Yeah.
This is going to be huge, and if you are a Game of Thrones fan, Charles Dance, who plays Tywin Lannister, is going to be voicing the Nilfgaardian king in The Witcher 3.
That's deep.
They showed him off in a trailer, and that is going to be an iconic role in video games.
Now, okay, this might sound a little. Sorry, what? Continue.
No. You can go ahead.
Oh, good. This might sound a little dumb. Witcher 3 is the newest one that hasn't even come out yet.
No, it is being released. I think it was originally supposed to come out, but then it got delayed, just so they could make it a little better.
So Witcher 3, the graphics and the trailer for it, were absolutely stunning. It's like, because that was the one that the trailer was on the boat, right?
There's multiple ones. He
had a trailer on the ship, and he was like killing like the king or something.
Oh, are you talking about where he had like an ice bomb and froze a bunch of people?
I remember that trailer.
Was that really 2?
That was The Witcher 2.
Yeah.
Goodness.
I will say, The Witcher 3, I had a friend over one time, and we were watching some, I forget exactly what we were looking at, but we just ended up looking up a bunch of game videos that had been released on the 360 dashboard. And there was actually a dev diary for The Witcher 3 with CD Projekt Red.
Sorry.
And they kept switching between in-game and where they were filming.
Right.
They're just like in I don't know, they were on like a cliffside, just filming themselves talking about the game. We could not distinguish.
Wait, did they use a red to do that?
A what?
They used a red. Are you talking about the camera, the red?
No, the developer's name is CD Projekt Red.
Oh, okay. I was about to say because the red camera is a thing, and a lot of especially low mid-range sci-fi movies or series will use it because it's a good camera, and they use a lot for actual CG work in photorealistic movies and things like that. I think like using one of those in relation to a video game would also be kind of neat. But anyway, continue.
That'll be dope.
Anyway, they kept switching between in-game and then just kind of showing the landscape of where they were filming themselves talking about it, and we could not distinguish between the in-game scenery and the real-life scenery until they actually started talking. I mean, that's how good it was. So The Witcher 3 is going to be amazing. They've showed off some gameplay. They've showed off some demos, which I forget the name of this trailer, but it was like the first one that they released, where you see Geralt of Rivia. He's coming up to some thugs, pretty much. I won't say what they're trying to do, but basically it goes up.
No. I've seen this trailer, and
it's by the tree where he wrecks them all.
I was thinking about The Witcher 3. It's just I had seen The Witcher 2 trailer at the same time because my friend was showing me both of them.
Okay.
So no. Witcher 3 is the one I'm excited about. I'm not crazy. Shut up.
Yeah. Anyway, these are great stories. I haven't finished The Witcher 2 yet. I do have the first Witcher game on Steam. I have yet to play that one. But they are incredible, really in-depth stories, great fight mechanics, great graphics, great voice acting, everything. So I highly recommend The Witcher 3, and I highly recommend... Okay, yeah, it is a very mature game, and as I have described it, it is Game of Thrones for consoles.
That's a very, very accurate description.
Yes, if you are a fan of Game of Thrones, you will love The Witcher, and vice versa.
There's a game that didn't actually hit my radar until Witcher 3, actually, until it was announced, and the trailer came out for it. My friend got excited actually about it and showed me it. And I'm like, why did I hear absolutely nothing about this game up until now?
You just reminded me.
The series.
It's going to be entirely open world,
which is cool.
And you will be able to stumble upon areas where there's going to be enemies that you will not be able to fight. So you will have to flee and return to that area to take them out. And I guess there was also something they were talking about in one of the gameplay demos. I think they showed it at the E3 stage demo, where Geralt comes across a kind of like a cabin in the woods, and some, I don't know what they're exactly, but some guys are there trying to, rob the place and everything. He stops them, and he walks away. But if let's say later on in the game, if he returns back to that location, they're going to remember what he did or what the player did in the game, and I guess be able to help you out or be nicer to you when you arrive there. Maybe they'll have something for you. I don't know, quest to give. But they're going to remember the good deeds that you did for them later on in the game if you ever return to that certain area.
That's cool. It's always nice when a game can throw a callback like that.
Yeah, it is definitely. So, I mean, I highly recommend checking out The Witcher. If you are into more the mature, high fantasy kind of games. But moving right along is going to be to Destiny, where IGN posted an article about someone who found what may have been the original story for Destiny. I have to say it sounded interesting. And I think it would have provided more of a story than Destiny actually did. But did you guys read this article?
No, I haven't got a chance to, unfortunately.
Yeah, I read it. I didn't read it thoroughly, I didn't read it word for word, but pretty much I got the main gist of exactly what was trying to be conveyed in the message of it, and it depressed me pretty much because I was just like,
I'm gonna pull it up here and I'm gonna read through it.
Okay.
I wanted the story so bad.
Yeah, this is something that we definitely want to discuss here. Anyway, it all starts with a mysterious and now deleted Reddit post. The original poster claims to have been invited by Bungie to participate in a user research program. The user notes that they were under a non-disclosure agreement, but believes said agreement is now void post-release. According to the user, the story experienced in the retail version of Destiny isn't the same story they played during 2013. Allegedly, the original idea for Destiny was to focus around a different character, the Crow, who is introduced early on in the story in place of the stranger. The story then takes an unexpected turn after being abducted on Earth by Crow's group, which comprises of former ghostless guardians. The player learns that there is something wrong with one of the group's senior members, the Speaker. What will cause the Speaker to leave the tower and join the Crow and his band of former guardians? Well, according to the poster, the Traveler, the person responsible for stopping the darkness, is also the cause of the darkness. In this version, the Traveler transports the darkness to Earth with him, bringing on the collapse of the Golden Age, infecting Earth's technology to a point where it nearly wipes out all of humankind. Let's see.
Now, see, the thing is...
Eventually, the player ends up being sent to Venus to recover a Gatekeeper's Eye, which is said to hold a powerful AI. Sound familiar? It should. A mission to Mars then sees the player learn that the Cabal have been harboring an advanced AI for their own personal gain, which could be Rasputin. So that's the first few hours. The poster goes on to mention that the internal test group is sent 10 hours into the story's future, which again brings another huge plot change. The AI points to a location on the moon, the Hellmouth. Inside the structure harbors a secret superweapon capable of reviving the Traveler out of his dormant stasis to presumably unleash havoc on Earth once more. Interestingly, during the first video documentary, the Bungie app features a mission where the player must help the Crow loot the Academy archive. Over on a different Reddit thread, users have noticed that several areas are missing from the retail version. The Seraphim Vault was an area found in the alpha version via players glitching their way through the game's map. Furthermore, in the official video documentary, foliage-rich areas of Earth can be seen. Have these areas been pulled? The likely explanation, albeit unconfirmed at this point, is that these areas are intended for use in future DLCs, the first of which being the Dark Below and the House of Wolves. Adding further to the theory of an alternate story, back in September 2013, IGN reported that Bungie's lead writer Joseph Staten had exited the company, which Joseph Staten released this when he left. After 15 great years at Bungie, from the battlefields of myth to the mysteries of Halo and beyond, I'm leaving to tackle new creative challenges. While this may come as a surprise, fear not, it's been my pleasure building Destiny these past 4 years, and after the big reveal this summer, our hugely talented team is on track for greatness. I'll be cheering all of them with all of you when the game launches next year. Thank you for the support. Thank you for your support of me and your continued support of Bungie. We couldn't have done it without you. Could Staten's leaving have affected the story? Was the original story not nearly as great as it sounds? Could the reviving of the Traveler and the introduction of the Crow be a future DLC pack to expand the game's universe? They've reached out to Activision and Bungie for comment, but I guess they haven't gotten.
They're not going to comment on it because it's a bunch of speculation and
this was made
exactly.
This article is on IGN by Wesley Copeland.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's
now,
a lot of people trying to claw like some meaning out of the fact that Destiny is being intentionally cryptic about what's going on. Now,
exactly.
If you listen, a lot of those things are either very, very closely related to the Destiny story that's here, or hinted at in other things of the Destiny lore. For example, the Traveler actually being responsible for the darkness, or that the Traveler is the one who brought the darkness to Earth, has been mentioned in the game, has been mentioned in the Grimoire cards, has been mentioned, in a lot of other things, that some people believe that the Traveler may have used Earth as a scapegoat or a proxy army or like a temporary hiding place and sacrificed Earth. There are a lot of theories like that floating around right now.
Well, with that part, I don't agree with the Traveler bringing darkness, because the Traveler brought the Golden Age.
No, yeah, and I won't say that the Traveler did bring the darkness, but I will say
it
that
was a long time after the Golden Age that the darkness came.
Yeah,
that the darkness followed the Traveler. The Traveler had always been fleeing from the darkness, or had always been fighting the darkness. So the argument was, okay, if he had never come to Earth, the darkness may never have found Earth, and we would have just kind of done our own thing. But continue.
I'll also throw this out about the Crow. When I was watching the Destiny credits, I believe they had the Crow listed, and I believe the Crow is the Queen's brother. Now, in one of the videos that they released for Destiny early on, it showed, I guess, the player's guardian looking at an Awoken somewhere in the city, who looks exactly like the Queen's brother. And he, pulled out his gun and held it up to the Guardian. He says, "This is how we do things in the wild." Which leads me. I mean, that sounds, since they were mentioning the Crow is in the city. That sounds like it could have almost been a story portion right there that was in that trailer that was taken out.
No. That right there, either A, was a promotional CG type of thing, or because they will, and Bungie has done this in the past, will use in-game assets to create scenes and things like that. But I really just think it's part of the future DLC for the House of Wolves that has been confirmed to be regarding the Reef, because the House of Wolves is the house that the Queen has taken over. So, of course, it's going to be the Queen and her brother and whatnot calling in that favor for you there. So that part right there, and there's a lot of speculation when it comes to like what the story could have been. And
True.
I think drawing conclusions like it was supposed to be this or it could have been this, I think is definitely really premature at this point, when they haven't even released nearly anywhere near what they're going to be telling the story with. I feel like they provided an excellent framework for their story and placed you firmly in a universe that you want to know more about the story for. So, of course, people are going to be, scratching their heads and trying to, dig out meaning out of things that don't have any meaning. Now, the mere fact that this started out in a Reddit there, it's like Okay,
alone gives
first,
it
I
that.
automatically give you zero credibility on that. And that may, I mean, he may, like, and I'm not going to say everyone on Reddit lies, obviously. Of course they don't. But I'm going to say that's just inherently unprovable. And the things that it's saying are weird. Like, okay, yeah, Gate Lord's Eye is an advanced AI, but so a lot of the story there seems like, oh yeah, no, that would have been a cool idea in hindsight, without actually considering the storyline that's in place right now. They're like, well, this is how I wanted Destiny to be, and then someone just wrote fan fiction about it.
See, I only got one question.
Yeah.
What is a traveler?
We don't know.
What is it? It's like is it an alien? Is the spirit itself like an actual alive being? Is it something that like
it is alive?
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
Of,
so like
sort of.
What is it? Just a ball? Like what?
Okay, I feel like it has more purpose than to like bounce, but
yeah, like this.
The Traveler. It's an interesting question because even in the Golden Age, we didn't really know what the Traveler entirely was.
Yeah, because like there was like so many questions of like how the game started. Like because when you think about like how the game started, like they just show the moon and then you getting revived. Like how did you die in the first place? Like that's what I want to know. Why would you be revived? What made you so special to be revived?
Right,
out of
but
everybody else. Like that's like the questions that
the craziness.
That answer them.
Exactly. The craziness regarding the collapse is something that they're answering in really vague ways. And I think it's because they're trying to make it so that you figure it out instead of having it handed to you. But and a lot of people, that's really hard for a lot of people who don't like read through the grimoire cards and stuff like that. I am I do that way too much. I'll be on like break and I'll just go through my grimoire cards. But still,
there's a lot of grimoire
like
cards. That's true.
Oh yeah,
yeah, there is
things like that. It's like you died during the Great Collapse, before the City Age, possibly in the Dark Age, or during the Great Collapse at the end of the Golden Age, and your ghost found you after a couple hundred years.
Yeah, because it's like this. It's like me personally. Like if I was dead and I get brought back, first things first, I'm asking so many questions before I walk somewhere and pick up any weapon. Like, why did you bring me back? I look at
yeah. Like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? I'm what now? I'm where? I'm what? I'm sorry. The who? The who?
Yeah, but then the little ghost, he's just like, you better move your butt right now or you're gonna die.
Right.
And so of course, like human instinct.
Like, why'd you bring me back? I'd be like,
you're gonna start running if he says you're gonna die.
And I do understand that, and a part of it is that your guardian was there during the Great Collapse. The Traveler forged the Guardians in light. The Traveler during the Great Collapse, in order to fight the darkness, imbued the Guardians with light in order to fight the darkness. But even those attempts failed, and the darkness ended up overtaking the Traveler. The Traveler, in his like dying breath, created the ghosts and created this safe place for the city here, and sat over the city, and that has the ghosts are looking for guardians who were previously imbued with the Traveler's light to bring them back to fight one more time, and that's what this is. You have one more chance to help help the Traveler. You have one more chance to take everything back. Otherwise, the darkness takes over.
What would be a dope kind of revelation, like what would be a really cool revelation, like if like the kind of character you create later on down the line, like actually finally makes a difference. Like let's say like you actually chose an Awoken and then you end up actually like having to like choose like what side you're on later down the road with the game. Cause like they said it's going to be a 10-year game. Right. So what if like down the road, depending on what character you actually created or decided to go forth with the story, actually has some kind of impact on what you chose, like as a race. That would be something that would be kind of crazy.
I think it'd be interesting to see how the different racial dynamics will go. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing how they explain a lot more of the things. For example, it still doesn't say what happened to the Awoken to make them that way.
Yeah,
It
because
still
it's
doesn't
like you can make
say
an Awoken.
how. It still doesn't say how the Exos actually came about.
Yeah.
It kind of just says like, okay, humanity made them, but even now we don't really know what was going on.
Wait, does it say that humanity made the Awoken?
No,
Or just the Exos?
Just the Exos.
Because
humanity made the Exos using some stuff from the Traveler.
Here's what I'm thinking: the Awoken were somewhere else that the darkness already consumed, and whatever Awoken is still alive in the Reef, that's the last band of Awoken.
Yeah, and then when you think about that, when you think about that alone, when you get to create a character that's an Awoken, what kind of wrench does that throw in the playhouse? Because you got to think about, if you make an Awoken, and the Awokens that you meet don't like humans or actually anybody else, like, are you supposed to be like them, or are you supposed to be with the humans where the Traveler is?
Right.
And that's so many questions.
Right. The thing is, with the Awoken, the deal is that the Awoken fled during the Great Collapse. They tried to run from the darkness. The darkness caught up with them. They ended up. Something ended up happening to the Awoken, and it changed them out in the dark over there. Some Awoken, the Awoken reside primarily on the Reef, but some of them left the Reef to help the last city, to help the city and the Traveler, because they saw that the Traveler was humanity's last chance, whereas the people who are still on the Reef are isolationist and saying, okay, we've weathered this for hundreds of years, we're going to continue to do what we can.
Yeah, because there's a lot of ways this can go, because you got to think, if you're an Awoken, right, did the Queen and her brother, do they like that some of the Awoken run out?
No, they hate that you left. They hate that you left hundreds of years ago. They don't, remember, your Guardian's been dead for hundreds of years. They don't know you. They don't know who you are. You're some traitor that left the Reef at one point to them. That's why they hate the Awoken Guardians, because as far as they're concerned, you're not on their side. Even though you're an Awoken, you're not on their side because you're not part of the Reef. And you're not part of the Queen's reign.
Exactly. Yeah, that makes sense.
So there's a lot of weird things like that. Sorry, go ahead.
Two things. One, there has to be more characters that Bungie's going to come out with, don't you think?
More characters,
because
when
it comes to Bungie,
no, like the Warlock, the Titan.
Yes, maybe there is the third subclass that Bungie has heavily hinted at, allowing people to explore. They haven't said anything about creating a different class other than the Warlock, Hunter, and Titan, but they have hinted that, especially with the whole three element thing. Every Guardian has two subclasses with two of the different elements. Gunslinger is Arc and Solar. The Titan is Arc.
But if you think about it, if Bungie has a 10-year plan for this game, don't you think that eventually people are going to want to play a different character? Like, I know that I have my Hunter almost fully leveled up. I'm starting to level up a Warlock, and then if I do a Titan, I'm going to have all three characters leveled up, and I'm not going to have any other characters that I can so-called get stuff with.
Right, and that is an interesting concern with it, and I don't know how they're going to tackle that. Bungie has
always been about a storytelling.
Yeah, Bungie has been known to throw some interesting wrenches into things, though. Yeah. Like they'll do things that you don't expect them to.
Exactly.
And a lot of times that's met with mixed results, but I mean, it works out a lot for them. So they may, for all we know, introduce another class down the line, and they may.
And I can see them increasing the level cap as well, because that can't be it.
Yeah, there's no way that can be it. If they're expecting this game if they're expecting people to play for 10 years, they better expand that cap, because you already got people that's that's close to that cap already.
You already have people that are at the cap.
You have level 30.
Yeah. Because it's 30, right?
Yeah.
30 is the highest you can do. But I imagine what they're going to do, especially with the level cap, is I'm pretty sure every one of the DLCs is probably going to come with its own raid. And the raid is going to include raid set gear. Raid set gear has a higher light level than the other gear, so you're going to be able to get stuff that is higher levels. So as things get progressively harder, it's going to get progressively harder to get to it. So the Vault of Glass right now is one of the hardest challenges Bungie's thrown our way. And it is only recommended at level 27, is it? Or 26?
I think it's like 26 or 27.
26 it's recommended at like 26, but 27 is what a lot of people play it at.
And then there's another thing too. Like the game itself isn't hard when you really think about it. Like the game itself isn't hard. It's just grinding. It just takes time. So it's not really the thought of a difficulty level, because there are games out here that are hard. Ninja Gaiden on NES, that's hard. There are games that are actually hard, but Destiny, I wouldn't classify it as a hard game. It just takes time. You got to put in time.
Wolfenstein was a hard game.
Wolfenstein was hard. Duh.
Yeah.
Capital D.
Think when you play through some of the more challenging things, for example, people will be even if I get to level 27, 28, even if I get to 30, those Nightfall challenges, for example, are still going to be borderline impossible to do. Those things are absolutely
the fact that when you all die, it sends you back to orbit.
That's hard.
That's ridiculous.
Things are unforgivably hard, and a lot of it's like the ability to say, okay, I can get through a Nightfall strike or something like that. It's like it's a step, and saying, okay, I got through the Vault of Glass. What does Bungie have next after that? Like,
exactly.
If they have something after the Vault of Glass, if they have their next DLC, say the House of Wolves, has its own raid, that's not going to be a level 27 raid, or 26 raid. That's going to be a level 28 raid, a level 30 raid. It's going to be something harder.
I hope it goes beyond that, and because when it comes to the light leveling, it was a cool concept. I like the light leveling. But my only problem is that when it comes to leveling up beyond that, because honestly, one thing I've noticed, getting light almost is borderline almost chance when you really think about getting some of your light leveling gear. So when it comes to that,
it got a lot easier whenever they fixed the actual loot system with that last update.
Yes, it's the most recent
that's right. They did release that update. Yeah, you're right.
They have made it a lot easier because they've made strikes give much better rewards.
Mm-hmm.
I just played my first strike.
And weekly and daily challenges, like the daily story mission and the weekly strikes, they now give most of the time it's legendary loot drops at the end. So now you get actual engrams and stuff for beating the strikes. And the strike playlist gives you loot drops now too.
That's good. That's good they did that, because
I remember they can also drop just engrams too, which is cool because they couldn't do that before.
Because when I got I picked up a purple engram. When I picked up a purple one, and it was blue. When I went to the Cryptarch and it ended up being a blue weapon, I looked at the screen and everything just went black. I was like, I did not just do all, I didn't get anything for strikes. I was so mad. I was playing with other people. Everybody else got something.
Strikes were hard to get anything from before. And I'll say I played my first strike just now, actually, for the first time, I think, since the update. And I got 4 loot drops off the bat. I got a rare, a decoherent engram, a ascendant energy or something like that off of it, and a strange coin. I'm like, whoa!
Okay,
that makes a lot better now.
What is going on?
That makes me feel better. That makes me feel a lot better because last time I played it, last time I played it was before that update. Yeah, and it was just this is ridiculous. I was so mad.
It did feel unrewarding at times, and I think that's something that Bungie was trying to make it so that you had to work for your achievements, but they more made it where it's not so much you're working for it, so much as like that's why the loot farm came up, the loot cave and stuff came about, because it wasn't so much about, oh, I beat this big boss and got this thing. It's more about I beat X amount of enemies and got this thing. Now, if you can say, okay, we had this like awesome run where like we killed Fogoth and we like almost died and whatnot, and then we got this legendary weapon. I got this legendary weapon because of it. It's like, okay, that's a story.
By the way, I hate Fogoth. I wish he would disappear.
Fogoth just needs to die. He is like my least favorite boss. I
wish he would just burn up and never be alive again, ever.
Yeah. Which one was Fogoth?
The one with the chains.
The eye laser.
Oh, the one. Yeah. He ain't nothing.
He's the walking eye laser, and it's so.
I wonder what that cave smelled like, because you got to think about it. He looked like he'd been there for years.
Yeah.
Probably smells like you.
Man, no, that was last week. I've been took care of that.
Oh, and another thing, I love the fact that Destiny added in the thing you have on most MMOs now, where you can sit down, dance, wave, and I love that the Exos dance like a robot.
That I thought was just a cool thing. Another thing, they are adding in voice chat for matchmaking. They didn't have that before.
Jesus.
So because they understand it's vital to communicate with your teammates and stuff.
True.
In Halo, even a lot of times, I would jump into game chat to talk to my teammates so that we could actually win. And especially with strikes, it's kind of important to be able to communicate with people. I'm just waiting for them to add proximity voice in Patrol.
That would be
because
the last strike I did with random people, one dude sat there and spun in a circle for an hour.
His controller.
He just spun in a circle, and then the other one goes on top of a rock, and I guess like it was a glitched rock because he never got hurt, never did anything, but he would throw down a grenade every once in a while.
His controller died too.
Everyone's dead. You're the only one who charges your batteries.
Yeah, but we're the only ones that recharge. Luckily, with me, I only played a strike mission one time with actual random people. All the other strikes, I always had somebody that was available on my friend list at some point or another, and I always was able to play with somebody that was actually reliably skilled. But the one time I did play with like random people, they were actually really good, and they were serious about it.
And I've had that happen before. I've had amazing random strike players, and then I've had people Girl Power. Sorry to bring that her up again. Who drove her Sparrow down basically into Fogoth's face and died.
She needs that. She need therapy. She went through stuff when she was a child. There's reasons for that. She didn't want to live no more. She didn't like life. She was treated poorly. That's all it is. She was depressed. We're just gonna say that.
So I had people like that too, where they'll take their Sparrow and drive right into the middle of everything that's shooting at once and die, and then expect.
I guess the job is to pick you up. It's mine.
The only time I'm driving
me now.
Yeah, the only time I drive my Sparrow right in the middle of a culmination of death is if I'm already supercharged and I'm driving, I hop off and I fly in the air and I just be like, die.
Yeah, I'll run into something if I've got my supercharged, if I know I can take the group out or at least get out of the situation afterwards.
Exactly. Yeah, me after a while though, I stopped doing the strikes. I was almost for a week straight was exclusively playing the Crucible. I really liked the Crucible. That was actually a really good addition. My only problem with it, like y'all saying, was the voice chat. That was literally my only problem. But that also was a plus because it made it some of the most friendliest online.
Yeah. You didn't get mad at everybody.
Yeah, there wasn't nobody talking crap. There wasn't nobody saying nothing negative. It was okay, this actually was
that was Bungie's concern. That was their concern when they disabled the voice chat was, hey, people are kind of assholes online. So I can understand why they did it. I don't agree with the decision to disable voice chat. At least give the players the option to disable it themselves. But they're enabling an opt-in voice chat for multiplayer for matchmaking. I just can't wait until they add it in free roam and in the tower. Because if there's one thing I want in this game, is to like just be walking around and hearing someone screaming because they're getting chased by like 3 knights or something.
That would be hilarious.
I want to be like on the moon and just like minding my own business here. So I'm like, oh fuck, and be like, what's going on? And just like put my head over and like figure out like, are you okay? And I want to be able to like sit in the tower and go like, and if no one's online, it's like, anybody want to like do a strike or something or anything?
That would be amazing.
Or I want to walk
be
to
able
someone
to go into the tower and just ask people if they want to help.
Right. I want to walk up to someone and say, dude, where'd you get that cape? I love that cape. Where did you find that?
I killed Superman. I
think that's what
family.
I think that's what Bungie was originally intending. They've wanted people to go up to other people and be like, "Hey, where did you get that piece of armor?"
Yeah, but now we can't talk. So what good is that?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, so like so when you think like they initially had that idea, it's like, why wasn't that idea implemented, or was the idea implemented beforehand and taken out?
Yeah, they've said the thing they said about the multiplayer matchmaking voice is that they were working on it when the game released. Is what they said. They said that it was almost done when the game released, and they like said that they just turned it on now, basically. I don't know what to really read from that.
I think it's Activision. I think mainly it was Activision's call initially, because I think Activision like actually signing on initially there was a lot of downfalls in a lot of areas. They probably came through as like, you know what, take that out. We'll add that later as DLC, because that's what Activision does. They are like a DLC hound, just like EA.
Yeah.
And
and I'm not going to say that Bungie is pure and amazing and like has resisted Activision at every turn, because I mean they're a developer. They have to like figure out a way to get their game out there first.
Mm-hmm.
And if that means segmenting it in a DLC, then I mean if that's a necessary thing, then that's how they'll have to do it.
Here's another thing too. Like they said, this was the most expensive game ever made, right? Like it was like $500 million to make it.
Various sources have given it different numbers with different kinds of like.
So my question is like, where was all of the money put to? What was the money put towards?
A lot was probably put into marketing.
Yeah, that's what I'm actually starting to think.
A good portion of it was probably servers too. Servers cost a lot of money to keep up and maintain.
Yeah. Servers does cost, but you gotta think about this though. Servers may have to cost a lot of money, like to keep up and all that. But I'm thinking I think most of it was possibly put towards just like the actual advertisements and just actually actually getting people to want to buy the game more than the game itself. Because honestly, I don't see $500 million worth of game. Like the game is good. The game is very fun. And when I play it with people, like I enjoy myself. I'm smiling. I have a smile on my face unless I pick up a purple engram and it's blue when I go to the crypt art. But aside from that, like the game itself is good, but I don't see the most expensive game ever made.
Right, exactly. And I mean I don't see that either. What I see is, and honestly,
I just see a good game.
Huh?
It's just all I see is a good game. That's it.
Well, I see a good game. I see a good game, and I see a good world, a good universe.
Yeah.
I see them potentially having that $500 million, and over the 10 years taking that $500 million and putting it into a game that will at the end of it be worth that.
Exactly.
So I don't think that on release it was necessarily completely here. No, it wasn't. The intention was to make it so that it is a gradual thing, and that is a bite to a lot of people. Because before everyone else, I will be the guy who, oh my god, I picked up Halo Reach, I'm going to beat absolutely everything with it within 24 hours, even if I almost have a heart attack from caffeine overdose. I want everything done immediately. I want all the information now. And that's hard. That's hard in Destiny. It's like I don't have all the information. I have to wait.
Exactly. Now, here's another issue that I have also. This is just with a lot of games, not just Destiny, with locked content being on the disc itself, and then you having to buy the DLC to unlock it. Now, the DLC, the 2 packs that's already been announced, have already been leaked that they are actually on the disc.
There has been there's content of that on the disc. Now, that is not saying that the entire DLC is on the disc. What it is saying is that the disc does have placeholders for the DLC right now. The disc has the areas kind of ready to like populate, and it has like a few holders for the missions and things.
Yeah,
and it has some of the graphical content in there. But to say that the content, and there are some games that have done this. Don't get me wrong. Some games have straight just lied to you. And and locked things like that.
They're already on the disc, and it's like you got to pay $20 to get this.
Exactly.
Like, really?
But in the case of Destiny, the DLC is actual true DLC. There is framework and stuff in place on the main disc to make it so that, because they knew they were going to have 2 DLCs after that. They have stuff in place where it's like, okay, let's get it ready so that we don't have to like have any workarounds.
Mm-hmm. I just hope that they don't go to World of Warcraft route where they like release like a $30 expansion like every so often, and then like it completely like in order for you to play this you got to have this expansion or something like that, or like they have it to where like it completely like changes the world, like you stop playing and you come back and you see something different and be like, that wasn't there before. What was that?
Now,
where's this plant? Like what?
I don't know how I feel about the idea of that, like, because they said that they were planning on a 10-year thing for Destiny, and that's good.
Exactly.
Now, my question is, are they going to say, hey, every 2 years or every 3 years we're going to release a new Destiny game? Or are they going to say every 2 years we're going to release like a $30, $40 like huge expansion, like a legitimate like big thing into Destiny, like
And I hope it does not be like that, because me, like, I've never been a person, like, I've never really been big into MMOs. So like this kind of like honestly like my first venture into something that's somewhat of that nature.
Exactly.
So when I look at it like that, it's like, I understand. Like, it's like if Destiny was not a $60 game, if it came out and it was like a $40 game and they released like $20 expansions down the line or something like that, or if the full game itself was just discounted and they released all the other ones at like a discounted price also, like if you own Destiny, you can get this for $15 or $20 or such down the line, then that would be something I could go with. I could go with that. Like that'll be something I could deal with. But for Destiny to be $60, we got bills. At the end of the day, it's like you got to think down the line every 2 years for $40. If they do something like that, I will be livid. I really hope that they go like the route to where like it's just DLC. You got the season pass. You gonna get all the DLC straight up. And I hope that they do something like that. That's what I hope that they do.
It will be interesting to see how Destiny progresses from here going forward. Because they've gotten a lot of feedback from a lot of people, and a lot of people are upset about the story. A lot of people are upset about the DLC and the content, things like that. Bungie has never been a company to ignore their fans.
Exactly. They've always been a very good community. Like they've been very good with their community. So that's why like I'm in no way, shape, or form giving up hope. I'm just hoping that they go in a direction that's positive for the game.
I believe that Bungie has the forethought and the like ability to handle it the correct way. Whatever the correct way ends up being, I believe that Bungie can figure that out.
Because Destiny has the potential to be one of the best games. Like it has the gameplay, it has the world, it has like everything set up to be one of the best games ever made. But right now, it's just not that. And I just hope that they can actually form it into this 10-year plan to make it that.
And the thing is, I feel like everyone over at Bungie right now is reading these reviews and stuff and is like seeing how people are upset that it's not a good game right now. And then I'm thinking all the people at Bungie are sitting over there like, no, we know, just wait a second, we got this, trust us. Like we will make this an amazing thing. You just have to be patient.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like Destiny, it has a really good story. It's just, I wish that they had explained certain things more.
Yeah, because it was like
Yeah.
what, like 3 or 4 cutscenes, like actual serious story moving cutscenes. Like that's when like I was like, okay, this is about to get real, and then it's just a boss fight. And it was just like I hated those sections to where you had to run up, throw your ghost at something. He had to decrypt something. Then you got 3 waves of enemies coming at you. Then you got to go back and check
pretty
to
much
see.
what every strike is.
Yeah. So it's like pretty much like every single thing is like it's almost becoming monotonous. So at the end of the day, I just hope that with these expansion packs and as they move forward, that they change the formula up a little bit because right now it's a good game gameplay wise and all of that. But like once you are like done with all the planets, done with all of the story missions, you do the patrols, you do the strike missions and whatnot, and eventually you hit the raid up. All that's really left after that is just getting light level gear in the Crucible.
Right.
And that's what the problem is right now. It's like, yeah, the Crucible is fun, but at the end of the day, when you got people who have short attention spans and they're going to just be all like, all right, I'm done with this, I'm bored. And then that's what I'm scared of happening. I'm scared that they're actually going to lose the people who thought Destiny was like, oh my God, this is the second coming of Jesus. And then they're going to get the game, get bored, trade it in, and then it's going to be all like, then what? Then they're going to be out of a whole bunch of people playing the game. And then
it might lose some potential is the thing.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, I hope they hurry up and do something because I say they got about 6 months before it becomes like one of those games where it had a nice idea and it just fell flat. Like look at Defiance. Like remember when Defiance came out? Like that was like it was
Defiance
the first game.
Really good to start out with, and then
exactly, yeah, like it was a cool idea to come out, but this is actually going to be a part of the TV show. Also, whatever happens in the show changes in the game, and if something happens in the game, like that's actually a good idea, and they just couldn't execute it right. Now that could be a fault of the developers or whatever, but at the end of the day, I don't want Destiny to become that because it is so much fun. It has so much potential behind it, and I really hope that they do their thing and like come strong with the DLC. I hope they come strong with whatever they're planning because they're going to need it in order to save it from where it's at right now.
Yeah,
I agree.
Bungie's been really good about what they've done so far. It's only been a couple of weeks. They've made sweeping changes to the architecture and things like that of the game, and I believe that as they go forward, they'll go, okay,
I believe in them.
We need to do this, you know. And,
I believe in them.
I got faith in Bungie.
Yeah, I mean, I love Destiny. I mean, I have found myself kind of straying towards some of the newer games that have come out, like Smash and Mordor. But
exactly,
I mean, right after we finish here, I mean, we're going to be hopping on Destiny anyway. But you know, I am looking forward to the new DLC, and I hope it does add, you know, some more story depth and everything.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, there's so many more games coming out. This is what is going to stop from gravitating towards like Shadow of Mordor or Hyrule Warriors or Smash Brothers.
And I don't think. Some of it is I don't feel like, and I'm going to be getting a lot of the new games that are coming out. I don't feel like Destiny is one of those games like I'm going to play Destiny instead of these new games. I feel like at least how I feel about Destiny is like Destiny is going to be like my go-to like I'm coming home, I'm just bored. Like I'm just gonna play some Destiny. It's kind of like I felt with Halo when I was a kid, when I was younger. When I was younger, I'm like I'm gonna go home and I guess I'm gonna play some Halo. It's just my go-to. That's what Bungie or Destiny has kind of become for me. It's like, okay, I'm home. I don't really have anything else to do. I'm like I've already beat the new games, or I'm kind of like burnt out on the new games. I'm just gonna go back to Destiny, and that's how that's my take on that anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree.
What I found this weird in my point of view, like Bungie has great multiplayer, great competitive multiplayer.
Yes.
Although I'm not too heavily interested in Destiny's competitive multiplayer.
Now they have been fixing a lot of things with that.
Right. I mean, it's just you know, whenever I go in, I don't really play any other game mode other than Control. It's just the other ones I'm not that interested in, like even Team Deathmatch, which, I mean, in Halo I'm always playing Slayer, but you know, I hardly played that in Destiny.
I think part of the reason is that there's no there's no teamwork in Destiny right now. There's no communication. There's no
Exactly.
like working towards one goal. For example, even in Halo and Slayer, you can go, "Oh, hey, no, they've got a wraith up on that hill. We need to take that out. Does anyone have blah blah blah?" And you'd be working to try and get that goal done. You'd have like little mini goals that you and your team create in order to achieve the win, or call outs. I can tell you that call-outs were a huge thing for me back when I played a lot of Halo multiplayer. Hey, you got two of them up by over by the left corridor. You got two of them in Sword Room or something like that. And,
when it comes to the
like that, it makes you feel like part of a team. It makes you feel like you're doing something. They don't have that right now.
When it comes to the call-outs, well, that was really creepy. Sorry, it just sounded like something fell over, but nothing did.
Boy, your house owner, I told you to call the Ghostbusters. I don't know why you keep procrastinating. You got to call the Ghostbusters. They'll be there in 10 minutes.
Well, as Jeremy knows, this evening at my house has been kind of strange to begin with. Anyway, I won't get into that, but it's been weird. And I just completely forgot what I was going to talk about. This
talking about call-outs.
Right, call-outs. Thank you. I had never really used call-outs in Halo. I mean, if I'm playing with my friends, we just said there's one over in the by the teleporter room on the upper level or something like that. Like, there's one over by the rock. Like, we knew what we were talking about because we always refer to it like that.
And a lot of them were unofficial call-outs. Like, not all of them were necessarily.
As soon as I got, as soon as I started playing Halo with some Guardian Radio people, just community members from there, they started like I remember one time we were going into a match and like right before it started in Halo 4, they're like, "Okay, so everybody remembers the call-outs?" I was just like, they're just like, yeah, and I'm like, wait. I'm thinking to myself, like, what are you talking about, call-outs? And he starts, then I'm like, oh, there's one over in blue, like the blue room or something. And, it didn't take that long for me to figure it out because, I mean, every call-out was...
Like you hear them.
Every call-out was simple, and it brought the most prominent feature in a room. Like the blue room, it had maybe a blue shading or a blue light in it.
It's like, it's not like you don't have to refer to it by its technical name. Like, okay, or like even a lot of times it'll be referred to by like where the weapons spawn. Like that'll be like sniper room or something like that. Like that's where the sniper spawn. That's why it's called sword. That's why my call out for the area in the pit was sword room. It's the room the sword spawns in.
Definitely. And I have to say that Powerhouse, which I think is, well, maybe this is a different one, but no, you were talking about the pit, right?
Yeah, I was talking about the pit.
I gotta say, but one of my favorite moments was Powerhouse in Halo Reach, where you would, just the race to the rocket launcher. That was always fun.
Yeah.
But anyway,
there's no communication in the Crucible, and it's really hard to want to win. No one else is working together. It's like you're trying to get your score up. That's it.
Exactly. That's it. That's the main thing. The only time I actually seen like teamwork like being silently played out was when you're doing like the little 3-on-3 matches. And the 3-on-3, but like there was like a silent code that like, yeah, you're gonna go that way. I'm gonna break this way. Like that's it.
It's like I wish I had voice chat because I could tell them,
especially in those matches.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, skirmish is a lot of fun when you play 3v3 in a party. Skirmish is super tactical, and I think that's really where the essence of like Destiny's multiplayer is in skirmish with two parties fighting, or two fire teams fighting each other, or with control with two fire teams fighting each other. That's where Destiny's multiplayer really shines. Real. Not with a bunch of random folks that you meet, which sucks because you should be able to do that. Bungie's always been good at matchmaking. Heck, they were some of the first people to actually do matchmaking correctly, and they left out a lot of the community aspect there. A lot of the hey dude, that was awesome, and just chatting with people. Destiny was meant to be this huge public thing, and I don't feel any connection to any of these other people at all when I can't talk. What am I going to do? Stop, go to my PlayStation menu, go to my recent players thing, and then send him a voice message? I'm like, no. If I can talk to him, I will. I'm not going to do that.
Exactly.
So
I just heard that. I'm pretty sure it'll be something they'll eventually implement into the online multiplayer. Because even though like the game is mainly like always online, I just hope that voice chat will become like more of an integral part of the actual gameplay experience, especially when you're on Crucible, because that's when it's crucial is when you're in the Crucible. Like,
yeah, it is.
All right, well, let's move right along to our next topic, which is Dragon Age Inquisition. And there were a couple videos that I found this week which were focusing on character creation and crafting. And, I think I had mentioned in one of the first couple podcasts that we did that character creation in Dragon Age has always been deep. And when I was looking at, when I was watching the character creation video, this is something where it seems like you could take hours upon hours creating your character. Which I'm sure if you wanted to just be the quick in and out, you can do that as well. Crafting looked like it was going to go in depth, and it looks like what they were saying is, you'll have your starting gear when you start off, and then it'll evolve over time. So, I mean, that's cool. Dragon Age has just been a good series overall. I have heard that more people preferred the first one than the second one, but there still are a small band that like the second one better. I never personally played the second one, and I only played the first one until I got to a boss called the Broodmother, which I ended up going in there.
Sound fun.
No.
I would not fight that.
I thought that I had completed like the majority. Like I had my characters leveled up good and everything, but when I went in there, I just did not have the offensive capability to take that thing down. So I ended up getting stuck, and after about 20 times of trying and failing, I called it quits, and I didn't feel like restarting the game and going through everything that I had just done, because I had put a large amount of hours into it already, so I was like, no, I'm going to just gotta end it here. I mean, great game, yes, but, it just had to happen. So, has anybody played Dragon Age? Anybody else?
Yeah. I played the first Dragon Age, and it's like you said, like I was one of the ones that preferred the first one over the second one. It was a lot more. I think it was just more the story itself that engrossed me a lot more than the second one. Like the second one, the gameplay it was cool, but they deviated way too far from what the original game was supposed to be. And like the story of the first one was just not present in the second one, like at all. Like it was just a completely different game. But the first one to me was so far superior in a lot of ways, except for like the combat and such. But first one was a good game.
Yeah. Only issue that I really had with the first one is if you're going, I'm all for talking trees, in fantasy games. But if you're going to put a talking tree in your game, please do not make it monotone, and please do not make it talk for 20 minutes at a single time.
God, yes.
It's like me talking to it. It's like me talking to an Elcor for a half hour. It's like, I don't want to do this. Oh my God, my brain.
Yeah, because it was like Mass Effect got that down like perfectly. Like I think like that's where they had like time to perfect the talking tree down. Like it was that one they just did that nice. That was.
I'm sorry. I found it just like hilarious. I fortunately have never had to sit down and talk to an Elcor for 20 minutes, but the way they talked, pleasantly surprised. Oh, hello there.
Yeah.
Things like that. It's like, okay, I'm giving you props for making that funny as hell. Even though normally I would be absolutely frustrated at a monotone talking like nothing, this is funny now, so thank you.
Right.
I agree with that.
I mean, the Elcor were kind of just a side character, too. I mean, you didn't really...
Oh, yeah, they weren't even anywhere near a main character. Although I would like to interact. I definitely can. I in the next Mass Effect game have an Elcor on my team. Yeah.
No. Next Mass Effect game, the hero is going to be an Elcor.
Yes. Oh my God, who was that action team duo? It was the Elcor and the Volus in game. Do you remember all the movies? Because it was a movie.
Yeah. The only one that I remember is Blasto.
Yeah, no, it was Blasto and what's his name? Blasto was the Elcor. He was the like super action Elcor.
Blasto was the Hanar.
Oh no, yeah, it was a Hanar. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Hold on.
Sorry, it was the Elcor reenaction of like Shakespeare's Hamlet or something, which was terrible. And the Hanar, the action Hanar, that's right.
Let's see.
Oh my God.
I remember that. Yeah, it was the Hamlet reenaction.
Blasto. Oh my God, Blasto. Yes, I would watch a Blasto movie if it released in theaters.
Blasto was that game. That was that game. Blasto was ridiculous.
I actually wanted to see that movie.
Yeah, I wish it was just a little thing that they included in like the Citadel somewhere. Like you can go watch a movie and it would just be Blasto.
Right.
That would be cool.
All right, well, let's move on to our next topic here, which is Borderlands, the pre-sequel. Jeremy, I know you're looking forward to this game.
Of course.
So the game has officially gone gold. It will launch on October 14th in North America and October 17th worldwide. And we also got to see some co-op gameplay, which, to be honest, I didn't really find to be all that interesting. But, I mean, Jeremy, I think you're probably the biggest fan of Borderlands here right now.
No, that'd probably be me.
No, I was going to say, no, Jamie's pretty up there.
Jamie, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jamie.
I don't think y'all understand.
She did literally say it was her favorite game like 20 minutes ago.
Borderlands
was the thing.
is my favorite game. I can honestly say I've played both Borderlands. I bought every single DLC for both Borderlands, and I beat every single DLC for both Borderlands.
Okay, never mind, Jeremy. She trumps you. Jamie, then, are you going to pick up the pre-sequel? And what are your hopes
I have
for?
to, because I am such a big Borderlands fan. Even though I am disappointed it is not on the next-gen consoles. I'm very disappointed about that. But I will be picking it up for PS3 and playing it just because I have to.
Getting it for
It's a
PC.
necessity.
Yeah.
What
I
class are
even
you
went
gonna
so
play?
far as asking Kevin to let me have those Borderlands boxes that we had that we were going to throw away. So they are sitting right next to me right now.
All right. Well, no, that
Gameplay doesn't look significantly different from Borderlands 2, although my
But you
feeling
do
is-
have butt slamming.
You do. You have interesting mechanics like that are hilarious, and I don't personally consider Borderlands a pre-sequel to be a full game, even though it's being billed as one, and it probably has enough game time to be considered one. I feel like Borderlands 2 is really a stopgap between that and Borderlands 3. Because it doesn't go into any of the future of what you've done in Borderlands 1 or 2. Borderlands 2 is a direct sequel to the first one because the first game had repercussions that happened in the second one. The pre-sequel informs on it, and it might be a fun game to play for Borderlands fans primarily. However, I feel as though it is, like I said, largely a stopgap game so that they can get some breathing room to put out Borderlands 3 because, let's be honest, Borderlands 2, while being one of the most amazingly DLC-supported games I've ever seen,
Yes.
is still how old now? Borderlands 2 released in 2000 and what, like 4 or 5 or something like that?
Wait. Borderlands 2? What?
No, not 4 or 5, sorry, but like still, freaking long time. Isn't Borderlands 2 like a 5 or 6 year game at least right now?
No, it's not
I thought it was.
that old.
I think 3 at the most.
Yeah.
Double check because it's an.
I think it came out
I feel-
2011.
Let's see.
2011, I was thinking 2010.
Either way, it's still the like most supported because they just maybe this was a couple months ago, released their last DLC for it. They said, okay, we're done. That's it. We're done. And I mean, that's the longest time I've seen pretty much any game be. It was 2012. I am insane. Apparently.
Oh,
way.
Gearbox is like crazy supporters of their games. They are still to this date sending out those shift codes for free in-game stuff.
They are. They're like, what? It's like, are you seriously still doing this?
Yeah, like they are still sending shift codes to people's emails to get new stuff. So that is ridiculous.
I appreciate that Borderlands 2 was such a well-supported game. However, even 2012, it's still becoming a dated game. It's still a game that is in desperate need of some sort of innovation to keep the franchise going. And I think the pre-sequel, as much as I am going to enjoy playing it, I imagine, still seems more like a stopgap measure to try to give them some time.
Well, what I've been hearing,
that's a bad thing. I love the idea of the game. It's a cool idea. But it's just, not going to be like the next Borderlands 2, for example.
No, what I've been hearing is probably later on down the road they might release this Borderlands the pre-sequel as a downloadable only game on PS4 and Xbox One.
Exactly, like that's what I expected the pre-sequel to be, at least from the initial reaction that I got from it. My impression was, okay, this is going to be like a quick game that's going to not have anywhere near the playtime the Borderlands 2 did. I don't even expect any DLC for the pre-sequel. I just expect it to be a game that I can pick up, go play, and then wait until Borderlands 3 comes out.
Yeah, because this... Let me think of what I was trying to say. This is more like, imagine Assassin's Creed Liberation for the Vita, and then they ported it over to PS3 for $20. So I expect them to do that with this one. I mean, I really hope they do, because I'd like to play it on my PS4. But it's not made by the same people, the same group that made Borderlands and Borderlands 2. It's made by a different group. So I can understand why they're only putting it on the last-gen consoles. But I am very excited for the new one to come out for next gen.
Yes.
I know they are working on it because I have read stuff about it, so they are currently in production.
All right. Well, hopefully, maybe next year's E3, E3 2015, maybe we'll see some Borderlands 3 news. Probably not, but you never know.
Here's to hoping.
Yeah. Moving right along, we're going to talk just briefly here on Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, which season pass contents were revealed. Which the season pass is $24.99, and the season pass holders get instant access to challenge mode, which I believe you have to unlock if you do not have the season pass. And what the season pass contains is some more challenge modes, I guess, new rooms, new skins. And it'll come with the Guardians of the Flaming Eye DLC, where you take on Sauron's forces before the Black Gate. It comes with the Lord of the Hunt DLC, where you'll tame the legendary beast of Mordor. And then it also comes with the Bright Lord DLC, where you play as the Elven King Celebrimbor as he battles Sauron. So, I mean, I picked this up. I was pleasantly surprised by it. Like I said, this week I'm going to be going through it and trying to beat it this week.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and actually play it this week too.
It's entertaining. It reminds me, at least the parkour elements, a lot of Assassin's Creed, like people have said. But
that's what I've heard.
What really got me is the fighting mechanics. It almost to me, it sounds exactly like the Batman Arkham fights. So if you throw a punch in Mordor, it sounds very much like throwing a punch in Arkham Asylum. So, I mean, it just seems like the same thing to me. I mean, good game. I like it. So far I like it. Hopefully the story will be solid all the way through.
Now, this is one thing that I've wondered, because I have yet to pick up the game. I was going to get it in the next couple of days. Do you have to be well versed in the lore of the Lord of the Rings or anything
No.
like that in order to understand the story?
No,
No.
you do not.
Okay.
Because I
Starts
haven't
off,
watched
it's-
any of the Lord of the Rings movies.
Oh my
I'm sorry.
gosh.
What?
She hasn't played Mass Effect. She hasn't watched Lord of the Rings.
I
Jamie,
know.
you're killing us.
I know.
This is bad.
It's been a long time.
I'm a
since I've
girl.
seen
I'm
those
not
things.
supposed to have watched all the Lord of the Rings.
That's utterly irrelevant.
Moving on from
Well-
that horrid,
Still tripping.
just that horrid information. You do not have to be well versed. One thing that I will be looking forward to is my cousin just picked up an Xbox One today, and he is a huge, huge, huge Lord of the Rings fan. He picked up Shadow of Mordor along with Destiny. So once he starts playing Shadow of Mordor, I will be very interested to hear what his opinion is on the game, since he is just a huge, huge Lord of the Rings fan. So I will be very much looking forward to his opinion, as well as my own final opinion, because, I mean, right now I like it, but of course that is subject to change, because I have not beaten the game yet.
True.
Moving on, one of our final topics here is alien isolation and difficulty in video games, especially survival horror games.
Now,
Alien-
this... Sorry, continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. You take the lead. This is the game. So
Alien Isolation, getting a lot of love and a lot of hate for what it's doing. It is a completely merciless game from what I hear. Now, I'm not going to pass judgment one way or another on it because I have not played it yet. I'm going to be picking up along with everyone else on release date. So, which I believe is
October 7th.
7th? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, 7th.
Yeah,
Monday night at midnight if you're picking up a GameStop.
I'm sorry. It's Monday. now.
Hey.
So it's being praised and condemned as an unrelenting game. IGN's reviews and a couple of other reviews have said this game is incredibly frustrating. You die a lot without even knowing why, and so on and so forth, and that you're doomed to die a lot in this game.
And that is the point of the game.
And
That's
I
a
have
survival
heard.
horror game.
Right.
And I've heard a lot of other games, or a couple of other reviews that have said, yeah, it does that, and that's what's so great about it. Like, the primary praise that I hear from it is the how insanely smart and adaptive the AI gets, and the primary complaint I hear about it is how insanely smart and adaptive the AI is. In there,
Right, because let's criticize a game for doing right what the developer said it was going to do.
right, and a lot of people are going to get frustrated with the game because they treat it like any other first-person shooter. I'm going to run around, do basically whatever I want to do, and if something gets in the way, I'm going to shoot it in the face. That's not what you do here. The alien is trying to kill you. It's trying actively to kill you. It's not just an enemy that might accidentally kill you if you stumble across it. Like all the enemies in other games. They're just patrolling and standing in an area, and if you walk by them, maybe they'll kill you. No, it's trying to find you. It's trying to kill you. It will kill you if it does find you. And it has its own behavior. It learns and it adapts, and the AI system is dynamic between all the AIs. So a group of thieves or whatever that you might run into, 1 minute, if they run into the alien, they'll end up getting stressed. They'll end up, running into a situation where they have some sort of emotional strain on them, and if you run into them again, they may not hesitate to shoot you. But if they haven't seen the alien in a while, they may, calm themselves down and then, give you a warning or something like that instead. So there's a lot of really dynamic elements. A room that you go into and say, hey, there's like 12 enemies in here, I'm not going in there yet, and then you go in there later, they could all be dead. The alien could have just killed them all when you were off doing something else, or maybe it didn't. It depends on what it feels like doing. And I love that about it. I love that idea. I am going to play the game. It is apparently, from all accounts, a 20-hour campaign.
Nice.
Which is huge for a game these days to release. The last game that did that was like, well, other than like Skyrim and stuff, is like Mass Effect like 2 and 1 that have pulled a game that long out of there. And that's average playtime. That's not going back and doing everything.
That's just regular
That's probably
playthrough.
with dying like 20 bajillion times.
Exactly.
True. Yeah, because now I heard that the alien itself it's unkillable, isn't it?
You can't kill it. You can't kill it. You will not be able to kill
You
it.
have to
can try
avoid
to
it,
shoot.
pretty much. But
Yeah,
it'll jump
there's a
out
couple
anyway.
things you can do
Not
to like
even a flamethrower
Slow
will
it
save you.
down.
Nope. There's a couple things you can do to distract it and move it to different areas, and the flamethrower will make it like freak out and run away for a bit, but you're not going to be able to stare at it down a hallway and live. If it sees you down a hallway and you're not right next to a door you can slam shut, then you're done.
You see, when you pull out that flamethrower the first time, it'll run away. But when it comes back to you and it still sees that you have that flamethrower, it's going to walk right up to you with a fire extinguisher.
I feel like that's not quite how advanced the AI is. But
That would
no,
be,
but it will actually, believe it or not, from all accounts I hear, learn that, oh, this chick has a flamethrower, maybe running up to her is not a good idea. I'm going to hide in an air vent when she comes by next. Or and it adapts. If you keep using the flamethrower, it will go, okay, screw this. I'm tired of being caught on fire. I'm going to hide somewhere and do something else. Or I'm going to sneak up on her. Or I'm going to, drop down on her from here. So, it's got a lot of cool things going for it. I will hold off my final judgment on it. I am a huge Alien fan. My judgment is going to be the most biased that you could possibly get on it. But as far as the gameplay mechanics go, I will review it in a fairly, even manner. I will love the story because it's aliens, but I may get frustrated with the gameplay still. If it's genuinely frustrating to an absurd level and not just to a realistic, simulation level. If I'm walking around and I continually just get stabbed from the back repeatedly, like with no indication and no ability to hide or anything like that, okay, I'm going to get a little frustrated. If there was absolutely zero actual chance for me to avoid it, and it happens anyway, I'm going to feel a little cheated. But if it was my mistake, if I slipped up, if I heard it coming and didn't do anything, if I accidentally peeked around the corner when I shouldn't have, that's my bad, and I'm not going to fault the game for something like that. So, more info on the review once I'm done beating the crap out of that game.
And getting the crap beaten out of you by an alien.
Yeah, well, shut up.
And speaking of getting the crap beaten out of you, Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo
Game
3DS
only about
release.
getting the crap beat out of
Right,
you.
exactly. 3 of us here have picked it up. 2 of us have played it. Terence, you go first here.
yes.
How do you like it?
Nice. Man, right now I'm loving it, mainly based because it feels a lot like Melee. It feels so much
that's
like Smash
so
Brothers
good
Melee.
to hear.
It feels like Smash Brothers Melee. And I was a big Melee fan, and even when like Brawl came out, loved Brawl just for what it was, but gameplay wise and like competitive wise, it just wasn't on that same level. So like when they came out with Project M, it rebalanced everything, and I was a big fan of that.
Project M's all I play right now.
Yeah, Project M it feels like Project M. That's what I can probably say with this Smash Bros. It feels like Project M because Ike feels like how he feels like in Project M, like he feels balanced.
I can't tell you how awesome that makes me feel about it because all of my friends were worried. It's like, well, we like playing Brawl, but we love Project M more, and we're worried that the new Smash Brothers is going to feel more like Brawl than it did Melee. But I am super glad to hear you say that it is going. It plays like
it's great. It's really good. Yeah, I can say like the only gripe I have about it is one like the 3DS. Smash Brothers was made for 3DS, but the 3DS was not made for Smash Brothers. And like I heard somebody tell me that, and it's probably like the truest statement. Because the only problem is like playing it for like long periods of time, it'll put like a little bit of strain on your hands, so it's not like the most comfortable controller to play Smash with. But I can say like when it comes out for the Wii U and saying they're pretty much is going to be like the same game as this, but only like 10 times better. So like there's pretty much like Smash Bros for the Wii U is going to be pretty much like flawless from if it's anything like this and just on a
GameCube
better controller.
adapter?
I was gonna say,
GameCube
as long as I can have my GameCube controller,
Yeah,
then
the
I will love
GameCube
it.
controller, like this is going to be probably the most perfect Smash game made, period. And it's like not even just like because of Smash Brothers. It's just a good game in general. Like it's one that I can see. But I'm never going to get rid of this game. I'm probably going to
Oh,
keep this
are you kidding
for
me?
however long I keep my 3DS.
Smash
Like,
Brothers is one of those weird games that that's why we still have a Nintendo 64.
yeah, it's one
Like,
of those reasons. It's like,
that's why I still have it, is because of Smash. Like, we'll go back to the original one. It's a lot of fun and just play them again. Like, I don't do that with any other game.
no, you really don't see a lot of games making you even want to do that. And that's one thing that Nintendo keeps doing right. It's like they know the formula, they know what like people want that actually like their games to see in it. Like let's take like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on Wii U. That is the best Donkey Kong Country game to come out ever. Like it's perfection. Like Nintendo knew what people wanted. They got the original guy that did the music for Donkey Kong Country 2 back in there. And the graphics is just beautiful, and it's like everything. The controls are perfect. It's tight. The game is actually hard. You don't feel like it's like your fault when you die. You be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna beat this game. I ain't gonna let it beat me. But it's like that's what Nintendo does. Like they actually you feel like there was heart in this game. This game got heart.
No, and that Nintendo does give off that feeling in a lot of their games, and I love that about it. Like I grew up with Pokemon. I grew up with Red, Blue, and Yellow, and. I'm sorry, if I found my old Game Boy right now with my Game Boy Color cartridges, I would play the shit out of that. I don't know what it is.
I still got everything. Like me, when it comes to Nintendo, like everything, I've been a Nintendo fanboy since birth, and that's my family's fault because it started off with the Nintendo and everything. They bought as soon as I came home. Yeah, man, they did the mistake and let me play it when I came home from the hospital, man. Like it was bad. Like to this day, I still got it. Like in first game I ever played, Super Mario Brothers 3. Straight like that and Legend of Zelda, those are my two first games I've ever played. And even to this day, you can still go back and play those games and they still retain the same excitement from when you first played them. And I think Nintendo is like the only gaming company that could actually instill that kind of feeling in their games. It's like their time.
It's weirdly unique to Nintendo, and I don't know what it is about it.
Yeah, Nintendo, because they when it comes to games, like that is what they do. They make games that you don't ever want to get rid of your games.
That's the thing. Like other, I will say there are other universes that I've liked better. There are other characters I've liked better, perhaps.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Nintendo just makes games I will never throw away. It's just
exactly you want to keep them. They're timeless, and this is like that's.
It's like
Legend of Zelda is my number one top favorite like franchise of all time, and it's just like when you look at like every game that gets made, it's like no, they're not perfect games by any means, but it's just like they're timeless. You feel like there was a lot of heart put into it. They care about their fans of these games, and it's all of that is present in Smash Brothers. Like just the roster is unbelievable. Like when you actually look at,
cannot wait to pick up Little Mac. Oh my god!
Oh man, like Little Mac has been that's my new favorite character right now. Period, because he is so strategic. That's what I've been training with him. I'm actually thinking about maining like him, Link and Ike. That's like going to be my 3 team right now. Like who I'm going to be playing with. Little Mac is probably one of the best characters in this game. Little Mac is so good.
Lucario for me. I'm actually always have been a huge fan of Lucario's playstyle because he sort of replaced Mewtwo in Brawl, but has his own interesting twist to it. Exactly. And a lot of mechanics are really defensive as opposed to being,
that's true.
An all-out brawler. Although in Project M, I did love his take. I love their take on making him. If you fight Lucario in Project M versus Brawl, he plays 100% differently. Lucario is lightning fast in Project M, and
that's how they did with this. Yeah, in this Smash Brother, it felt like they took a lot of cues from Project M. Honestly,
that's literally the embodiment of what the community wanted to do. The community modded it and said, "This is what we want to play, so we're going to make this." And Nintendo's like, "Okay, you want to play that? Fine, we'll let you play that."
Yep,
Here,
and then you can play it on unmodded consoles, and then that right there lets you know that Nintendo, like, when it comes to Smash, that's probably one of their most like beloved franchises right now, because there's been so many communities formed around Smash Brothers. There's been so many friendships formed from it. Like,
almost
it's
brother.
more than just a game. Almost, it's like it's a big thing. It's really a big thing, and
Yeah,
that's why I
like
love it so much. It's so good.
I do love it.
I
So looking forward to it. That is going to be why I get a Wii U.
Yes.
Spend a fortune on 4 GameCube controllers and the adapters for it.
Oh yeah.
I really like it. I really like that classic mode. Reminds me
Oh,
very much
classic.
of classic mode in Melee. Like,
Yes.
to a point. Although I will say, Mr. Hand at the end. That's his name,
Oh.
right? Mr. Hand.
Master Hand. Master Hand.
Master Hand. All right. I will say, Master Hand in the new Super Smash Brothers is more difficult than the one
Yes.
in Melee.
And yeah, now what's really good too is this about Master Hand. They make the requirements to get to fight Crazy Hand also, because you can fight Master Hand and Crazy Hand depending on what level you pick. The requirements to fight both of them at once is been lowered, but the difficulty has been spiked. Like, because Master Hand, he had, like, you fight Master Hand and Crazy Hand, but if you take out Master Hand first, Crazy Hand will transform into the devil. I swear, it's bonkers, man. Like, I can't even put words to it. Like, it's crazy. And what they did with Classic Mode 2 was another thing that was really good. I'm glad that you brought that up, because now they got it to where, like, it's like a road map, kind of. Like, you can actually select between 3 roads you want to take in between the characters. And then in between those roads, you can pick up coins, and then you can use those coins to heighten up the difficulty later. And it's beautiful. Yeah, it's so good how they crafted it. Like, the classic mode is crafted beautifully.
The only thing that I don't like about it is, since it is on the 3DS, you know, smaller screen. I've lost my character multiple times.
That is another thing. Yeah, the small character they do, because especially like if you have four characters, like you're doing.
I was doing a. I was doing Smash Run one time. And we got to the end where it was the final fight. I was in there as Lucario, and Sheik was in there. Well, Sheik was also blue. So, you know, just all of a sudden, just all 4, the 3 CPUs and me, were all in the middle of the map fighting. And from what I could tell, I mean, from what I could see and everything, I was doing good. All of a sudden, just something happened where there was like a blur, and all of a sudden, 3 characters went flying up to the upper left-hand corner, and they all disappeared. And I was like, "Oh, hey!" You know, I'm like, "Hey, yeah, I won." And then I realized, I'm like, "Wait a minute, that's not me. What just happened?" No.
Yeah.
I had completely no idea what happened. So that is my only complaint about it. Is that it does get a little, I mean, hard to differentiate characters at times.
Yeah, it can get frantic. That is the thing. But the good thing is, though, is like, I will say Smash Brothers was made to be played on an XL, not a regular 3DS. I can comfortably say that, because on one of the screens it is a lot bigger. Yeah, it's a lot bigger. The 3D effect, honestly, I always play with the 3D off. But even though
I don't even use the 3D effect.
Yeah, if you do leave the 3D on, though, it makes some of the levels like pop. Like, they actually look really nice. Like the Animal Crossing stage with the 3D on, it looks amazing. Like, they actually like put some care into the 3D with this one. So, like, that's one thing. Like, I can't wait to see what it looks like on the new 3DS when they release that, because it's going to be like, they said they reworked the 3D a little bit, so it's actually not as intensive on the eyes, but it's a lot sharper image. So I can't wait to see what that looks like on there. Yeah, so it's going to be it's a must have, though, because it can get frantic. But in the settings, you can actually change the borders around the characters, because in this one they put like a little like thick outline around the characters, and you can actually either turn the borders off, or you can make them thicker so you can see your character easier. So it kind of like affects the cell shaded aspect of it. So if you actually go into your settings, you can actually change the border around the characters, and you'll be able to see which one looks better, actually plays better, and which one is easier on your eyes so you can actually see your character. So there are ways like that you can make it to where you can actually see it with all the frantic action going on. Because with 4 players, and this, it gets crazy. Because like I said, the speed is like almost like back at Melee, and Melee was fast. Brawl was a lot slower, but Melee and Project M, those games are very, very fast paced. So this is back at that. So on that screen, it's probably good to mess with the settings with the borders so you can actually see which one tickles your fancy.
All right. Well, we will go ahead and wrap that. Thank you for telling me that, because I had no idea that was even in there. Anyway, we will go ahead and wrap things up. This has now officially become our longest record. I mean, dang it, our longest episode. Previously, it was episode 2 at 2 hours and 22 minutes. Yep. This one is going on 2.5 hours. So let's give a round of applause to everyone who's made it this far.
Yay.
I believe in you, man.
I'm surprised we made it this far. I think Jamie's dead.
Yeah, she had to step out for a moment. I guess she got a phone call.
Okay. I thought
in the meantime,
I was actually kidding. But
I will
You're
say,
the real MVP, Jamie.
Back when everybody was talking about Destiny, I did space out for a moment. And
yeah, you sounded like it.
It honestly has. That's why I guess I missed where Jamie said that Borderlands was her favorite game of all time. I will say it seems like we have been sitting here forever. Or at least it seems like I have been sitting here for like 10 hours and it's only been 2. So, yeah. I mean, this was fun. I enjoyed the conversations. And if you want to be a part of the conversation, so to speak, you can email us at feedback@gamescoopthursdays.com. That's where you can send us questions, comments, give us, feedback on the episodes and everything. If you experience a problem with our website, which is gamescoopthursdays.com, you can email Jeremy over at support@gamescoopthursdays.com. You can find us on Twitter at gamescoopthurs, that's THURS. And we have a new and improved YouTube channel. We have a new YouTube channel. We're going to be rolling out reviews, previews, and unboxings. We got a lot of stuff planned.
We got a lot of stuff coming. We got a lot of stuff coming soon. It's gonna be a beautiful thing, everybody.
We're working on it.
Yeah, so we're gonna have some stuff rolling out very soon. Actually, our Destiny review is actually going to be up
fairly soon.
It's going to be, it's Monday right now. For those of you who don't know, we record episodes on Sunday, but we release them on Thursday. It just works out with schedules right now. If we ever choose to do live recordings, we might change it to Thursday. But anyway, right now we record on Sunday, so expect our Destiny review to be up on YouTube, which will be under our new review channel later on Monday, which me saying this is completely irrelevant because when you actually listen to this podcast, it's going to be Thursday.
Just ignore him. He talks a lot.
Forget that.
That voice though.
Anyway, you can search us out on Facebook, just Game Scoop Thursdays, and we're on there somewhere, lost in the millions of useless Facebook pages.
Not lost. We know exactly where we are.
Oh yeah, no, we know where we are, but everybody else doesn't know who we are, where we are.
They will.
We were lost.
Anyway, so thank you for listening, and we will see you next week
on Thursday.
Yes, on Thursday.
Bye. Bye, guys. Bye.
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 Hey everyone, Alex O'Connor here. Just wanted to give you a little update on some things that were, some news articles that were released post-recording. We're going to be talking a lot more about these on next week's episode, which will be episode 9. First up is that Super Smash Bros. On the Wii U received a release date of November 21st. Captain Toad for the Wii U received a release date of December 5th. The Shadow of Riven, whichever it is, expansion for Star Wars The Old Republic received a release date of December 9th, which will include a level cap and things like that. We're going to be going in-depth a lot with that in next week's episode as well. And then also another thing we're going to be going in depth with would be the Master Chief Collection, which releases on November 11th. And Warlord was announced as the final map receiving the anniversary treatment, which it was known as Wizard in Halo 1, I believe it was. And it was something else in Halo 2 that I forget what the exact name is. But we're going to be going in depth with Master Chief Collection, Star Wars: The Old Republic, next week in episode 9. So we will see you then.